Bahuma right side. Gonna cut it inside. Looks now for the end zone.
I mean, you're better off just rolling it down the field, the 40-yard line, than kicking a line drive to number 15.
Salcido in motion. Snap taken, heating. Gonna throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Touchdown.
I love it,
Derry. Look out. Off to the races. Matt Morrison. Blitz up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off at the flat. It's Lynch on the road, down by a point. Capetta calls his own number, takes the plunge, and ends up in the end zone. Four-man rush. Throws across the body, looking for Peters. He's got him on the run. The holder is Sabati. It's clean. The kick is up. Good. And good.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. An interstate battle between Pinkerton and Brockton. The latest chapter in a rivalry that goes back over 20 years, and a good measuring stick game for the region as Pinkerton looks to stay undefeated. Brockton made the travel north, hoping to capture their second win of the season and look to build some momentum heading down the home stretch. It's a festive atmosphere as we expected here in Derry. Crowd continuing to file in. Big numbers expected here for this Saturday afternoon affair. Well, Coach O'Reilly started this rivalry back in, I believe, the year 2000. These two squads met annually for the better part of a decade before, well, the realignment occurred and the scheduling rules changed. But a few years back, the open week, so to speak, came back on. Teams throughout New Hampshire allowed to schedule anybody for that open week, and the first phone call Coach O'Reilly made was to Coach Wiggins down in Brockton. So we've got a rivalry renewed here this afternoon between two of the best programs, top to finish, top to bottom, in New England. Should be a good afternoon weather-wise as well. Temperature right around 60 degrees or so. Not much of a breeze. A little bit of cloud cover, but all in all, you can't ask for a better mid-afternoon affair in terms of the weather conditions. So both teams down on the turf field. In just a moment, we'll check in with Steve Beals. He'll have a live on-field interview with Boxer head coach Jermaine Wiggins, the former Patriot. We'll also, of course, bring you the live rendition of the national anthem as the Pinkerton marching band continues to assemble down on the field. And then the coin toss will lead us to the kickoff at the top of the hour. So a lot to get to over the next 15 or 20 minutes prior to game time. Don't go away. Steve with Coach Wiggins coming up next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MG DerrySportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Well, back here in Derry, the Pinkerton Marching Band setting the stage. Players concluding the warm-up procedures here over the next few minutes as we make our way towards the top of the hour with Brockton and Pinkerton here. Week number 7 for the Astros as they look to improve to 7-0. Nick Anastas here in the booth. Steve Beals down on the field with Brockton head coach Jermaine Wiggins.
With Friday Night Lights in conjunction today with Brockton TV, going over to the whole city of Brockton, and we're just thrilled about that. I have with me a very special guest, former Patriot, former Colt, former Jaguar, 10-year illustrious career, Super Bowl champion Jermaine. Oh my gosh!
Don't worry about it.
And Jermaine has been took on the coaching position this year with Brockton High School.
Yep.
How's it going so far, Coach?
So far, you know, the kids are buying in. I think that's the biggest thing. First year is about building the culture and getting kids to buy in. And we got a great bunch of kids. We got a great coaching staff, so it's all about them buying in. I'm super excited. The result of where we are record-wise isn't where we want to be, but it's more about the buy-in. It's building blocks.
Right. And this team was expected to go through this year in the first place. Mm-hmm. You come in, you got a freshman quarterback. Mm-hmm. How's
He's making strides. He's growing every day. He's maturing. It's about building every single day, you know, stacking the good days up. Yep. And as a young kid, he's doing a great job. So I'm really impressed with everything he's been able to do.
And you've also got some good supporting actors around him with Turco, Montero, and Santos. Was able to watch a little video. Those guys are coming along pretty good as well.
Oh, yeah. Cam, obviously. Everybody knows Cam Montero. Yep. He's going to Pitt. He's a tremendous player. And then Luke Turco, who's a junior, and Lorenzo Santos, who's a senior linebacker for us. So we got a bunch of talent all over this place, and the biggest thing, like I said, is them buying in.
Who else should we be looking to watch today in this great cross-state game?
Right, I think you got to keep an eye on Jaden Lopes. Is a great player for us. Walter, our running back. I mean, we got guys all over the defense. Ahmad Wiggins, we're not related, but he does a tremendous job for us as our middle linebacker. So there'll be a lot of great players on both sides of the football.
So thank you so much, Jermaine Wiggins, doing this for us, this interview. Really appreciate it. We truly wish you the best luck. I was born in Brockton, by the way.
There you go.
My dad was a teacher at Brockton High School for 35 years. It's a special game. We love both.
There you go. Thank you very
Jermaine,
much.
thank you so much. Jermaine Wiggins, folks, nice enough to do an interview with us. Really appreciate it. Back to Nick.
Good stuff there with first-year head coach Jermaine Wiggins. Steve will join me up here in the booth here momentarily. Brockton, just one win through 5 weeks. The victory came against Lawrence, losses against Franklin, Lincoln Sudbury, Andover, and Barnstable. And still another 3 opponents on the other side of this one for the Boxers. They'll face New Bedford, Durfee, and Bridgewater Raynham. Pinkerton, they've been on a roll really from the get-go. The highlight perhaps so far, a week number 4 victory over crosstown Londonderry, the first time the Astros had defeated the Lancers since 2018. That was a back-and-forth battle here on Friday Night Lights in New Hampshire, where Pinkerton emerged with a 24-20 victory. But if you look at some of these scores, that was really the only close contest of the 6 wins for Pinkerton. They opened up the season with a 2-touchdown victory over Wyndham, 34-21 the final. Then back-to-back weeks of big point totals, 51-6 over Alvern, 51-13 over Timberlane on the road. Then came that aforementioned win over Londonderry. And the last 2 weeks, lopsided wins as well, a 34-7 victory at Concord. And last week here in Derry, a convincing 56-17 victory over Bishop Girton. As we welcome Steve back into the booth, good stuff down there with Coach Wiggins. What'd you take away there from the few minutes you had to chat?
A man that's had an incredible career and has decided instead of, living the good life, as they say, he's going to give back to others. I did watch about a half an hour speech that he gave at Brockton yesterday when he came into Marciano Stadium, and I'll tell you, anybody, go on and take a look at it. Very inspirational. This man's on a mission to build this city program. A guy who was, I don't know if you already mentioned it, Nick, on the year, born in New York, went to school and raised in East Boston. Brockton, very much, the same side of concept, area in the city. He's used to that environment, and these guys, he's talking about buying in. It's building that culture where these guys are going to come out and compete hard for positions. He's already got one athlete going to Pitt, so he's off to a pretty good start. And I really admire the fact that he goes with this young quarterback. If you guys, you're going to see him today. He's still a freshman, but you're going to see he's got a lot of potential. And look forward to seeing how his career as a head coach continues to move on as obviously a former, Super Bowl champion. That's quite a thing of service to do.
Absolutely. Member of that 2001 New England Patriots team.
What a team
that beat the Rams. On the other side, of course, is longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly. Of course, he's the school's athletic director as well. We spoke with him off air prior to the game, and in typical Coach O'Reilly fashion, he seems focused and all business here as the kickoff approaches.
I think what he wants is an opportunity to. These games really offer a number of things. They offer an opportunity to get a break from the normal schedule. There's a little bit of less pressure involved here, Nick, in this game, in the sense that he can experiment with some things he might not do the same. But of course, they're out to win it. Future, continued development. You want to get yourself in the mode of being a playoff contender. They are already more than that. They're part of the elite group in the league, in the division. So, he's done this so many times. This is more, I don't want to say routine, but he understands what it takes to be a champion. And I think what he's trying to do is fix and continue to develop his team. Look at all the things that potentially need some work and need to be cleaned up as he approaches some very big games. A big game next week against Salem, who, by the way, I just saw Steve Abraham down the field. Yeah, gave me a big hello. What a terrific guy.
Well, one thing Coach O'Reilly has told us publicly earlier this season was how proud of that offensive line.
Yes.
He is. One of the better groups he's had in several seasons. And I rattled off some of the point totals as you made your way up here. It's reflected on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Especially as of late.
Well, that Londonderry game, Nick, was big that we did the Mac Plaque game. The amount of interest in that game is just amazing with how many people want to see these two teams go at it. And it didn't disappoint. I think you'd agree there. It did not disappoint. That was quite an event. And coming off of that, he's going to face, I believe, Salem next week. And who's he face the last game of the Central High School. So this week against Salem, obviously they're expected to beat Central, but they still have to play the game. And then at that point, we're hitting playoffs, and it's which team is going to stay in the stride. You go around, you talk to people. Just today on the way in, I was talking to a gentleman that says, I want to see Bedford and this team, or I want to see Pinkerton and this team. The excitement around this is very good. The matchups are going to be how all this. I was talking to Ben, our director. Where do you think this is going to match up? He looks at me, his arms open. He says, I have no idea, because there's so much football to be played and matchups to be that challenge needs to come to a completion, and we'll see where we go.
The schedule leaves room for some intrigue with some of these postseason potential.
It really does.
Postseason matchups. Well, there's Michael Barbarian. We saw him a moment ago on screen. He's the referee this afternoon. A lot of experience. Another 5-man crew down on the field, expected to call a tight one at the top of the hour. We welcome those of you watching across the region. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's, of course, FNL NH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube at FNL NH Media. We welcome the audience south of the border this afternoon who may or may not be tuning in with Brockton Public Access. All right, Steve, two teams seemingly in different situations. You have a coach who's been on the job for over 4 decades with Brian O'Reilly and Pinkerton, loaded with seniors, a lot of experience. And on the other side, as you mentioned, Coach Wiggins still kind of getting his feet wet.
6 seniors on the team.
Only 6 seniors to work with.
And a freshman quarterback.
And a freshman quarterback. So it's almost night and day different
it's night
when you
day.
Look at the rosters.
And I think that Coach Wiggins really looks at this game to come up and play a team like Pinkerton Academy. You look at the other teams that played, Nick. I don't know if you already went over them or not. Barnstable, Franklin, Lincoln Sudbury. By the way, Lincoln Sudbury, they actually played. Max Preps is wrong on that. I talked to the statistician down in the field. So they're 1-4, but they've played teams that are probably the same, kind of caliber and over that Pinkerton is going to be. So I think he looks at this as a great opportunity. I don't know if you heard in the interview, Nick, he's got some players going to Pitt.
Right.
Got a player, Lopes, going to Pitt. And so there's some really solid talent in the team. It's just very, very narrow at the top, if you will. So I think for Coach O'Reilly, this is a great opportunity for him to kind of get off of the ride, if you will, of Division I in New Hampshire, kind of go off and do something different. Build off this game, and continue to give Hersom some different looks, defensive looks, and different opportunities to perform. But I agree with you, Nick. That offensive line, to your point, he's been very high. I always know when Coach Riley smiles and says, I think they'll do okay. And when he's smiling and that together, it's usually a pretty good sign that it's a good group.
You mentioned Tim Hersom. He's the 6'4" senior quarterback, a 2-year starter. And you and I, over the last couple of seasons, have really seen him evolve and develop to the point where he's one of their better players.
I think he's still evolving, Nick, but he's got physical gifts of the height. He's got I think a pretty solid arm. When I saw him break that run against Londonderry, I saw a guy that remember he threw a pick earlier, and he was really upset, and he wanted to make that up to his team. I love that attitude that Hersom had, where he was not going to be denied that touchdown. He broke on the outside on the far end of the field. That was a huge part of the game, and he's got that fight in him. And as a leader of the team, as one of the leaders of the team, it's a big deal. So I mean, that kind of advancement is very, very important for him, as I would expect he may be looking beyond and try to play some college football.
And, of course, as we know, a stable of running backs yet again for Coach O'Reilly to lean on, including Matt Morrison, the junior, who is as explosive as it comes.
Yep.
All right, here come the Astros.
Micho, too.
Onto the field in front of this gathering crowd here on a gorgeous October afternoon. Hoping to improve to 7-0 overall with just 2 games remaining on the schedule.
This band, I'll tell you, we have been really treated to some great music, Nick, and will again today.
Yeah, we were in Londonderry last night. Of course, the Lancer Band, nationally acclaimed, and this Pinkerton group
sounds fantastic.
I would say in the same tier for sure. One of the larger bands statewide.
Boy, I'll tell you, Manchester Airport is busy today. I've seen 4 planes, 1, 2, and then 2 when we first came in. They must be all coming into Pinkerton, Nick, to watch the game.
There you go. All right, captains now meeting at midfield. Again, the referee is Michael Barbarian. 3 captains on the Astros side, 4 for the Boxers. You mentioned Michaud as well. Caden Michaud, one to watch this afternoon, number 20 in red. He's down there, multi-year starter. Has that second gear, so to speak. And a couple of guys to watch for Brockton. Again, a very young team overall, but a pair of juniors at the skill position spots. Cam Montero, Lorenzo Santos, ones to watch this afternoon. Let's go down to the field now for the national anthem. Well, there they are, the Pinkerton Astro Marching Band, setting the tone for some football with a great rendition of the national
Fantastic.
anthem. Steve and Nick up here in the booth. Nick and Astis Steve Beals, our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire family, positioned above us down on the field. Got all the angles covered here this afternoon. Some keys here, Steve, between a young Brockton squad and a veteran Pinkerton team.
Continued development of the quarterback for Coach Wiggins. I could see him smile when I opened up the interview. They were talking about him. I think he's pretty excited. Talked to a couple people down the field that from Brockton said he's developing nicely. And obviously they're big players. They've got to make big plays. There's no question about that. They're very narrow at the top as far as senior leadership, only 6. So obviously get out to an early lead. I don't really know the Brockton Boxer team that well, so those seem like pretty obvious things. You want a freshman quarterback to do well. On the Pinkerton side, keep the steamroll rolling. offensive line work, maintaining a percentage of as far as time of possession up around 60-65% is a goal, because you want to keep it out of the opponent's hand. Defensively, just continue to match up against their better players, who's ever on them. You want to continue to see the Pinkerton skilled players do well. Get ready for the playoffs. That's bottom line here. This is an exhibition game that's going to be played with full tilt, and but there's a lot of benefits to that for both teams for two very different reasons. So without really knowing Brockton, Nick, it's hard on the keys there, but that's what I see out there. And, again, turnovers always become a big factor. Special teams, we talk about that every time. So,
well, again, the weather, very nice right now, about 60 degrees even, and it should stay so for the next several hours.
A lot of scouting going on here. Just trust me, there's more than a few coaches here scouting as the season approaches.
Absolutely. All right, Brockton won the toss. The Boxers defer to the second half, so Pinkerton set to receive the opening kick. Astros in their home reds, Boxers in their road whites. The kicker is Andrew Dos Santos, the junior, with the dangerous duo of Morrison and Michaud back inside the 10-yard line for Pinkerton. Kick in the air, we're underway. And it's Morrison from the 9, going to make his way to the left, crosses the 20, the 25, where he's met at about the 28-yard line by Ahmad Wiggins, the junior, who makes a pretty good open field tackle, and that is where drive number 1 will begin. A 1st and 10 on the way for the Astros from what looks like the 29-yard line officially. So we get our first look at Tim Hersom. We talked a bit about the senior in the pregame, listed at 6'4", can see over the defense, and has that sneaky athleticism as well.
He does.
Quick snap here. And the first play is a handoff left side from Michaud, who's going to be wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of room there. One of the co-captains, Ruben Bernard, the senior, waiting in the trench there for Brockton. Just a 2-yard pickup to set up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, looks like they're going with a 5-2, Nick, here. On defense, the Boxers, I mean.
Again, a quick break out of the huddle. Hersom going to send a man in motion here on 2nd and 8. Against a 4-man front. Handoff this time for Morrison. Trying to escape a man in the backfield, and that's not going to happen. Dragged down from behind by Messiah Pena. One of the 6 seniors for the Boxers, able to win his assignment up front, make a good tackle. That's a loss of 1. And now the Astros facing a 3rd down and 9 here with a minute in the books.
Yeah, obviously up front, pretty strong, Nick. Look pretty solid there against the Astros. Doesn't look like the offensive line, at least in the first 2 plays, is getting the sort of surge that they're looking for.
Michaud in motion. Hersom drops the football. Never quite had the snap. The senior fortunate to dive back on that one. But either way, Brockton coming out, making an early statement here defensively as they force the 3 and out.
Yeah, they seem to be getting good penetration, over the line of scrimmage. Doesn't seem to be a lot of cadence. It's kind of walk up and snap it. And Brockton seems to be capitalizing on that right now.
Luke Turco, the junior, is back deep here for Brockton. As the Astros will trot out Peyton Harmony, the senior punter, from his own 15. This one, pretty high arcer. And Turco is going to lean forward and pull in the fair catch at his own 43-yard line. So, good starting field position for the Boxers as they bring the offense out for the first time.
Yeah, very interested in seeing this young freshman quarterback. I mean, we think about the sophomore quarterbacks that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, Nick, that have come out, and that's quite a thing in itself. But if he's got the talent, you might as well start grooming now.
This is Jaden Campbell, the freshman in the gun. 4 receivers set, 3 to the right side. Pinkerton, one of the few teams in New Hampshire with that 3-man defensive front.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this one is blown dead as a flag is thrown, and it looks like the game's first penalty.
Yeah, false start.
Is going to come against the Boxers. Somebody moved early for Brockton.
Hard
so
to
first
say.
and 10 becomes first and 15.
See if we can see that, Nick. Not sure if we'll be able to figure it out, but.
So an early penalty here as we hear from referee Michael Barbarian for the first time.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of movement on one of the middle receivers there, Nick. Very slight, though.
2 minutes in. Brockton facing a first and 15. The man in motion is Montero. And the handoff is a stretch play right side. This is Walter Rodriguez. Another penalty flag is thrown. And a tackle is made along the sideline by Anthony Caruso. That's got the home bench fired up. But again, there's a penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage. Looks like this may be against Brockton yet again. So the officials busy here early on. And indeed, it's going to be against the offense, a hold against the Boxers. So not the way Coach Wiggins had drawn it up here. Back-to-back penalties, and now the football is going to be spotted just shy of the Brockton 30-yard line. So a first and 23 coming up here in just a moment.
Yeah, not the way they want to start their offensive set out here, Nick, especially with starting off with great field position out to midfield almost.
So Campbell will spread him out again, this time two backs in the backfield with him. Pinkerton threatening to blitz. On first and 23, handoff left side. Trying to bounce it out, not going anywhere.
No.
I believe that was Rodriguez. Diagnosed well there at the second level by Pinkerton.
You're not getting any fire out right now, Nick, out of either offensive line. They're kind of standing up on both sides, and it's just giving the defense an opportunity to just clog it up and in some cases get in the backfield. But
James Caruso with the tackle.
Let's see as the game develops here how that changes. But when you get yourself in penalty trouble real early on offense, it's but with second down, they still got time.
2-yard gain on that first down run brings up second and 21. Again, Campbell, the young quarterback, going to scan the defense here. Astros threatening to blitz off the edge. They'll rush only 3. Campbell going to go deep. This one up for grabs along the sideline and knocked away, incomplete.
Nice job on defense.
That's Cameron Dillon,
Yep.
able to time the jump well. The junior gets a piece of the football, and now a third and long on the way.
Yeah, the ball had a lot of height on it, Nick. It didn't really come off. There wasn't a lot of separation there. This was just good coverage.
We got that one-on-one
Gave it a good
matchup.
bid down the field, but the coverage was just there. I mean, obviously, in that down and distance situation, you're going to have the cornerbacks not let anybody get behind them.
Dillon had the inside position.
He sure did.
Third and 21. Empty set here. Again, the Astros threatening to bring some extra rushers here. One comes untouched off the edge, and this one is knocked down in the middle of the field, incomplete, as it's swatted away with the left hand by Michaud. So, a couple penalties. Put the Boxers in a tough position there on their first series. Now going to have to punt the football on 4th and 21.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good arm. I mean, that would, from what we're seeing, the first one is just with that kind of down and distance, throwing a bomb down there, you're going to have the defensive backs behind. But that all leads to a punt. We'll see if the Astros can get their offense going.
The senior Cam Montero from his own 20 gets it away cleanly. Another high arcer right down the middle. And a fair catch called for and made at about the 37-yard line for Pinkerton. It's Jamison Isaac back there, sure-handed for Coach O'Reilly. So Pinkerton, to the two teams exchange punts. Going to start drive number 2 in pretty good shape here at their own 38.
Yeah, field position hasn't been the problem for either team so far, Nick. Getting the offense firing low off of the line has been an issue. Let's see if they quick snap again. Yeah, same thing.
Going to pitch this time. Michaud, carry number 2, left side, makes a man miss, lowers the shoulder. He's at midfield, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, that's something that Hersham has really developed, Nick, is that pitch. Does a good job, has a nice pivot, and it's definitely an area from last year where he's improved. And if you are going to be a quarterback for Coach O'Reilly and staff, you've got to be able to pitch the ball. And Michaud, great job there protecting the ball at the end. 2 hands on it.
Goes for 13, longest play so far. This is the big fella. The fullback, Ryan Catnode. We'll call his name a lot tonight. He's a star both ways. And the fullback going to grind out about 3 yards there down to the Brockton 43-yard line.
Yeah, I'm going to try to say this right. 79, Kashodas Petway. Or am I getting it back? Yeah, I got it right. I think I got it right. If I didn't, I apologize.
Just a sophomore, but
just a sophomore, but he's a load.
In there on the tackle. 2nd down and 7 officially. Herson with a long count, and this one going to be blown dead again.
Same thing again. I don't think there's been one Pinkerton snap, Nick, that hasn't been within a second of him walking up under center. So obviously feel like getting off the ball with a quick snap, but you just don't want the defensive line and the being in a situation where they can begin to count on that.
Got to make sure everybody's set as well.
You do.
The other half of the coin.
And that could have been that's why I brought it up. That could have been a factor there.
So a 5-yard false start brings up 2nd and 12. Pitch right side, Morrison. He's got room. Down the sideline, looking for the first down. Stick is knocked out of bounds very close. Luke Turco out of the secondary applied the hit. But I believe that's a first down carry for Morrison. It is.
Yeah, watch here. You see they're doing a good job pinning the outside linebacker if he rolls, or the defensive end if he's got contained. And then they're going out and they're running out a receiver in deep. The cornerback's got to go back and doing a good job opening up that off tackle.
1st and 10.
Whoa.
Catnode is upended. About a yard deep in the backfield.
That number 50, I believe.
Good penetration there from Ruben Bernard, one of the 5 co-captains for Brockton.
Yeah.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
I've been impressed with especially the interior down 3, Nick. Those guys on the defense for Brockton have done a good job so far. Getting good penetration, closing up the gaps. Hasn't been a lot there. It's all been off tackle.
So no gain brings up 2nd down and 10. Quick moving start to the game. Nearly midway through the first quarter. Drive number 2 for Pinkerton. And the officials, again, are going to blow this dead.
Nick, it just seems to be the ball is being snapped really quickly. And to your point, guys are not getting set here. This is something that you don't usually see it go that quick. I don't know if this is a done by design to try to get an advantage, but so far, I mean, if you get 5-yard penalties, it's not going to work.
The officials
or is it working now? I mean,
the officials have called it tight as well.
I would agree with that. They have been calling tight. The one that was called, one of the ones called against Brockton was really tight. I thought
2 penalties each way. They fake to Catno, and then a fumble on the handoff to Michaud, and it looks like Brockton's got it.
They do.
Nope. The officials,
they say no,
are going to say we're going to keep it here. I spoke too soon.
Who was it that fell? Let's take a look at that.
Certainly
Who was
looked
it that fell
like
on him?
One of the defenders had it, but Michaud may have recovered that one himself.
I thought Michaud, it bounced into the boxers. No, he pulled it away. Wow, what a heads-up move by Michaud.
Luke Turco was in position there for the Boxers, but Michaud able to wrestle it free at the last moment, so the drive continues. But 3rd down and 14 now facing the home team.
Never seemed to have a handle on it.
Michaud near side. They give to Morrison.
Yeah.
On an extended handoff there.
Yeah,
and
Coach O'Reilly not happy. Yeah.
Rodriguez, the tackle out of the secondary for Brockton. It's a gain of maybe 2, and it looks like 4th and 12 officially on the way.
Yeah.
And Coach O'Reilly going to send out the punt team.
Yeah, generally speaking, you don't have those sort of mechanics problems. You've either got to hand the ball off or you've got to run with it. And it didn't seem like he was really sure what he wanted to do with it at that point.
Looks like an option.
Yeah, like an option, and got to work on that.
So Harmony back out for another punt here. Standing at his own 48-yard line from the near hash, swings the right leg.
Ooh,
it's high in the sky. It's going to drift near side and land out of bounds somewhere inside the 15-yard line.
I would call
maybe
that
inside the 10. Yeah, they're going to spot it. Where? They're going to walk up a couple yards to the 13-yard line.
That's
so
about
either way, tough starting field position for drive number 2. We welcome the audience across New England here this afternoon. Steve Beals, Nick and Astis with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Follow us, of course, on YouTube at FNL Media. Hit the subscribe button. We're glad to have you with us. Week number 7 here of NHIAA action. Pinkerton trying to stay unbeaten and improve to 7-0. Brockton looking for their second win of the season, trying to bounce back from a lopsided loss against Andover last weekend. All right, the freshman quarterback back in the driver's seat, Jaden Campbell. He's in the gun with Walter Rodriguez to his right. It's Rodriguez who gets the carry. Senior trying to bounce it left side, and that stretch play not going to happen.
Heck of a play by
At the edge
Caruso.
was Anthony Caruso, the 6'3 junior, with a nice-looking tackle.
Yeah, I agree, Nick. Watch this. He gets outside of Caruso. He's gone a long way. There might have been some backside pursuit to be able to reach him, but it was going to be a big play. Watch Caruso. Don't give up. Slow him down. Nice job getting separation. Grab onto whatever you can except the helmet and the shoulder pads, and he did just that. What a terrific job. That's a big play right there for the Astros.
That length may have helped Caruso there, extending that long arm and getting a piece
He was smart
of the
enough
shirt sleeve.
to get separation, which was key.
2nd down and 8. This time it's a right side run for Turco, and he won't get the corner.
Seems to be a defensive day, Nick, so far.
Catnode and Caruso combined there on the stop for Pinkerton. Another 1-yard pickup. Looks like 3rd and 6 officially on the way as we tick down towards 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, Pinkerton doing a great job reading and then reacting, and doing a good job tackling. And every time that there's a the initial contact on the tackle, there's other Astros on. That's always a good sign for defense. Same situation on the Brockton Boxer side. They're doing a great job as well, foiling the Pinkerton offense. So
5 wide here. Astros look like they'll rush 3.
Both offenses, Nick, in all fairness, doing some things that are really hurting themselves. A lot of 2nd and longs. Kind of messy right now.
Got a timeout on the field here with 3:06 to go. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising, that's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast, visit nhiphonerepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally, by Spectrum Monthly, powerful, local advertising solutions. Find out more at spectrummonthly.com. All right, 3rd down and 6 officially. The football at the Boxer 18-yard line. Brockton looking for their first down of the contest.
Yeah, this is a big down for the Boxers right now, Nick.
Back to throw. It's Campbell over the middle and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Luke Turco. Typically sure-handed, but that one ends up on the turf incomplete. Now a 4th down punt on the way.
Everything's sailing. The mechanics are a little bit kind of sliding off of his back foot. Needs a little work on the mechanics, but he has got a gun, Nick. They can work with this fella. He's got some potential because he's got a strong arm as a freshman.
Montero back at his own 2-yard line. Hoping to get off a good one here. This one clean, high, not very deep, going to drift to the near side. Take a bounce out of bounds right in front of Coach O'Reilly on the Pinkerton sideline.
Still pretty
at
productive.
About the Brockton 44-yard line. So drive number 3 will begin in enemy territory here for Pinkerton, their best starting spot yet.
Yeah, this game certainly seems to be a defensive stand after defensive stand. Somebody's going to have to get their offense, functioning, Nick, to full tilt, and somebody will break something here, and we'll get a score eventually. But right now, both defenses are just kind of having their way.
Play fake. Hersom going to go to the air for the first time. He's got Mishu open. One-handed catch.
What an athlete.
Touchdown, Astros. It's a 44-yard hookup from Hersom to Mishu, a highlight-type catch by the senior.
Wow. He is such an athlete. Look at the effort that guy puts in on every play, whether he gains a big chunk of yardage or not. He does all the little things in between and gives himself up. Let's not underestimate the quality of that pass either, Nick. That was a pretty solid pass right up the seam there by Tim Hersom. Nice job. Michaud did what he had to do. You can touch it, you need to catch it. He certainly lived up to that expectation.
Pulled it in with one hand on the run at full speed.
While he stays up and doesn't fall over and lunges into the end zone.
And when it's all said and done, it's a 44-yard hookup. Meanwhile, the extra point is up and good off the right foot of the senior Peyton Harmony.
Here we go.
Tim Hersom dialing up the long ball. Michaud got the step and pulls it in with some great concentration.
Yeah, great mechanics there by Hersom. He threw the ball across his body. Look at him. Across his body. Good job. Look at that. Wow. And to stay up in that situation really is special. And then to lunge into the end zone, he felt good on that one. Great camera work by our crew there. Great job, guys.
Talk about a highlight.
And ladies.
A fantastic catch. It's got this home crowd fired up, as you can see there.
Oh, yeah.
On replay. Is a lot of folks behind both end zones. The grandstand is full in front of us. And folks are still making their way in here about 25 minutes or so after kickoff. So the home team strikes first, 7-0, a 44-yard hookup from Tim Hersom to Caden Michaud, a couple of seniors connecting there for the game's first score.
And for all the Brocktonians down in the city of Brockton watching the game, certainly hope you join it. We're proud to work in conjunction with Brockton Community TV. Hope you're having a good time watching the game.
This one up in the air. A little bit of a short kick, fielded at the 11-yard line. And up to about the 25 goes Jaden Wooten, one of the juniors. Sorry, the 35. He's going to be stopped just shy of the 35-yard line at about the 34. Pretty good full-speed hit there on special teams by Ryan Placey, the 5'8 senior for Pinkerton.
Yeah, this has been going on the last couple minutes, Nick. The collisions have been pretty the physicality of the game is growing here as we move along. This matchup here goes back decades between these two programs and these two school systems.
Yeah, it's a rivalry renewed. Started, I believe, in the year 2000. Went away for a while, came back in full force a year ago.
Yep.
And the first time head coach Jermaine Wiggins has been a part of this rivalry on the Brockton sideline. So a first down and 10. Drive number 3 for the Boxer offense as Jaden Campbell, the freshman, is back in the shotgun set looking against a 3-man front here. Astros look to bring extra heat off the edge, and the youngster is going to get cut down about 2 yards in the backfield.
Is that Caruso?
That is Anthony Caruso. Is off to an excellent start here defensively. The junior gets a tackle for a loss there.
Well, you get used to talking about the Michauds, and the Hersoms and so many players, but this guy, if in the game against the Mac Plaque game, this guy just continues to check in at key times. He had that edge, Nick. He was probably looking at 12, 15 yards minimum. That's just a terrific tackle.
A good recovery speed there.
Yes.
By Caruso.
Coming all the way from the backside.
Got a couple of tackles for a loss here early on. That one -2, so second down and 12. The give for Rodriguez. Little shift at the line of scrimmage. Lowers the shoulder over the 35 and ends up with 3, maybe 4 yards on the rush to make this now third down and 7. Final 100 seconds here of the first quarter. Pinkerton out in front, 7-0.
Well, I dare say there are certain plays that are, this isn't a game changer by any stretch, but this is an important opportunity for the Boxers to execute a first down here, Nick, because
have not moved the chains yet.
They have not moved the chains, and they got to start doing that.
4 receivers. Astros threatening to blitz here on 3rd and 7. Play action, throw, near side. It's complete to Montero. Breaks the tackle. First down and then some into Astro territory before he's spilled down at about the 29-yard line. Caruso able to bring him down, but not before a big play through the air.
Look at this young quarterback developing here. Watch his mechanics here. Sets himself, throws across his body. Of course, Montero Heard some very good things about him and some people that I talked to about his receiver capabilities. He showed it there.
He's been targeted three times in this first quarter. That's his first catch. Final minute. First time the Boxers have been in Pinkerton territory here with the ball now at the 29-yard line.
Mind you, this young man, number 8 here for the Boxers, is a freshman.
So Campbell may have just changed the play. Looking over at Coach Wiggins. Another hard count. Now does take the gun snap. Handoff Rodriguez, trying to bounce right side, and he's going to be dragged down. It's a good play on the edge by Landon McKiernan.
Sure was.
Comes from a football family, the junior. Got him around the waist there for no gain.
The reason he was able to make this tackle and still hang on to something was because he stayed square as he worked across, down the line there. And by the fact of staying square, he was able to get a piece of him and hold him down.
That'll do it for the first quarter. Pinkerton gets on the board with a 44-yard hookup through the air from Hersom to Michoud. But the Boxers threatening to break into the red zone when we come back. Second quarter on the other side. Pinkerton with a 7-0 lead. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
12 minutes in the books. Pinkerton, a 7-0 lead on the board here in Derry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. A rivalry renewed. Latest chapter between Brockton and Pinkerton. A battle that started nearly a quarter century ago. This is Brockton's most promising drive of this first half as we begin the second quarter. They've got the football down at the Astro 28-yard line on 2nd and 9. They run towards the sideline with Cam Montero.
Yeah, boy.
And the senior is very close to a first down.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was a track man in the spring, Nick. He's got some acceleration. That's what the Boxers need to do, Nick. I think they need to start attacking the edge a little bit more. They've come close a couple times with the win. They've actually had some gains. But right now, it almost doesn't matter which team it is. They just can't get through the opposition's interior. And everything off tackle seems to be working.
3rd and 1.
Took a real big play from Michaud to get a score on in this game.
It was a 44-yard hookup through the air. That's our lone score either way. 3rd down and 1. The Astro fans chanting defense, and it pays off. Guess who? Another tackle for a loss as Anthony Caruso meets up with Walter Rodriguez 2 yards deep. A third tackle for a loss for the junior. 3rd and 1 becomes 4th down and 4, and now Coach Wiggins with a decision to make here. The field goal would be about a 40-yard attempt, and Coach Wiggins wants some extra time to think about it as he calls the timeout. The Astros are 6-0. Coming into this one, 3 of those games they eclipsed the 50-point total.
Yep.
Including last week when they put up 56 in a blowout victory over Bishop Girton. And, of course, Brockton under first-year head man Jermaine Wiggins trying to rebuild a bit. 1-4 through 5 games and trailing early in this one on the road 7-0.
Well, when you start looking at some of these scores, Nick, of that top 4, and how they do against some of the more mid-tier teams. It's kind of feast. Some of them have been close, but a lot of them have been much wider margins. That was a game that caught my eye for sure. The one you just talked about with that kind of margin against BG. BG, by the way, going out to Keene, who I think has been a pretty solid football team under Coach Patnode. Goes out. I was it 20.
Cardinals got a win last night.
Got a win last night, but I think it was 2 touchdowns, and
all right,
that's not an easy task.
4th and 4. Brockton going to go for it. They're going to put the young freshman under center here. And he play fakes, rolls out right side, makes one man miss, is pushed out of bounds by Catnode, close to the marker.
He's close.
Lost his helmet in the process. The officials looking at one another. No signal yet. Brockton says they have it. And the officials disagree. Pinkerton going to get the stop they were hoping for, a 4th down stop. As on 4th and 4, the quarterback rollout only produces 3.5.
Yeah, but he gave it a good bid, Nick. He gave it everything he had, and we can't tell from over here, where he went in, where he went out. But
Coach Wiggins, upset as you can see.
Yeah, I think he didn't agree with that spot at all. I thought he kind of, when he came across there, it looked like, but we can't tell really from here.
So it stays 7-0. Pinkerton takes over at their own 20-yard line. And they hand to Morrison. Looking for room on the outside. Going to be forced out of bounds somewhere in the area of the 25-yard line. And now a late flag is thrown.
Boy, Nick, I don't know. He pulled right up. I don't know about that. You're going to see on this thing, this young man, he tackled him, and he was getting dragged out, and he didn't even try to pull him down. I don't know about this one here. So he's inbounds there, right? He's falling down, and he makes sure he holds the – I don't know.
It was Rodriguez who came in at Morrison from behind there.
Sure looked to me like he was.
And it is a personal foul
they're
against
gonna win.
The Boxers.
Yeah. You really want those late hit nicks to be late hits. That wasn't a hit, number one. And number two, all he did was straddle. He didn't continue and do anything else after that. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one for the Boxers to take.
It's been a tightly called game so far. That's the 3rd accepted penalty against Brockton. The first 15-yarder either way. And all in all now 28 penalty yards in this first half against Coach Wiggins' club.
Yeah, nice run by Morrison. Nevertheless, got some good gain.
So the field position improves. Pinkerton will snap it now from their own 42-yard line, 1st and 10. The fullback, Catnode, his 3rd carry doesn't go for much as Rodriguez gets some revenge there at the line of scrimmage with a nice tackle.
Yeah, was it Rodriguez that was tackling on the outside? Yeah. He's not too happy about that. He just showed that there and made a nice comeback and made a nice play.
Got to look there at Lorenzo Santos as well, the senior. He's played well. One of just 6 seniors on the club. Another quick snap on 2nd down. Catno, a little bit of room up the middle. He's going to truck his way up to midfield and cross over into Brockton territory at the Boxer 49-yard line. That'll set up what looks like a 3rd and 1 on the way.
That big game, Mac Black, again, I brought back to that game, really enjoyed it, Nick. He had a 4th quarter that was out of sight, and he had a good game as a whole, but he really came on and became an extremely important tool for Coach O'Reilly to get yardage when he needed it, and I think he's a big factor in the win in that game.
Played both ways, really, the last 2 years. Meanwhile, Hersom catches everybody by surprise.
Yeah, I don't know if that was by Hersom's choice or that was called in originally, Nick.
The quarterback sneak is going to move the chains. They pick up 2.
There was nobody in the nose guard position. See, he was off there. Complete wide gap there with a short yardage. Smart move by Hersom. Wouldn't be surprised, I don't know, but wouldn't be surprised if he may have called that on his own.
A good block there by Adam Day as well, one of the better centers in the state. Catnode again by sheer will, is going to move the pile a few yards, pick up what looks like 2, and set up a 2nd down and 8. Gang tackle there with Uriel Mabine, the freshman leading the charge for Brockton.
You can see Nick Pinkerton, Obviously a recipient of a few infractions there. They've been on the recipient on that end, but they are at the same time moving the ball down the field a little better now.
Another quick snap. Hersom play action. Back to the air. Down the middle. Morrison. No, it's Michaud who's wide open for the touchdown. They dial it up again. This time from 48 yards out. And the Astros have built up now a 13-0 lead.
That is quite a connection that those two guys got going on that deep seam pass. And Michaud just runs a great route. And look at Hersom again. This is the Hersom when he's at his best, is when he has good mechanics in the pocket. He's just got that 6'4" frame, Nick, that has vision. And he threw another strike to Michaud there. That's quite a connection today for sure.
Second touchdown hookup for Hersom and Michaud, the two seniors. That one from 48 yards out.
But give the offensive line a lot of credit there. They gave Hersom the time and the pocket that he needed.
The extra point try is up and good. So it's 14-0 Pinkerton. With less than 3 minutes now gone by in this second quarter. What a start for the senior Tim Hersom. He's 2 for 2 through the air. 92 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Not a bad stat line.
Not a bad stat line at all, Nick. Well said. Things really started slow with the Pinkerton offense, Nick. Just was out of sync, but you got to that's what a team's got to do. You got to make the adjustments. And Coach O'Reilly is seeing something seeing an opportunity to go to the air. And, he's generally a run-based guy, but obviously there's some matchups that he really likes out there, and he's exploiting them now.
And that's one thing maybe that's been missing the last couple of years has been that play-action pass to balance the run.
Absolutely.
And as we're seeing, it's paid off with some of these gaudy point totals earlier in the season for Pinkerton.
But you got to have an offensive line that can give the quarterback that comfortability that he has. And when Hersom is comfortable, he can be very, very effective.
2-year starter in rhythm from the get-go here this afternoon. So Brockton in an early 14-0 hole with less than 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Hoping for a response here. On the kick, it's Jaden Wooten, the junior. Makes one man miss, crosses the 25, tackled around the 27. And another flag flies here, as it's been a penalty-filled first half here in Derry.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't see anything there, but a lot of players moving at the same time. Let's see if we can see it on the replay here, if there's anything that stands out.
Seen 3 penalties against Brockton so far.
And maybe a block in the back. Sorry, Nick.
A couple against Pinkerton in that first quarter as well. And this one, it appears, is going to go against Brockton.
Yeah, I think it's a block in the back, Nick. You're going to see.
It is a hold. And it's
did they say a hold?
Team. Yep.
Okay. I thought I saw a block in the back. I didn't see a hold, but
either way, it's against Brockton. So they're going to back the football up inside the 20-yard line at the 16. So it's been tough sledding in terms of field position by and large for Brockton in this first half.
Yeah, and there's been some calls there that have really affected them negatively at the worst possible time, Nick. Not least of which was the infraction on the late hit.
It was a hold against Nolan Marshall, according to our director, Ben Beals.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 from the 16. The Pinkerton band fires back up. And the crowd hoping to give this defense a bit of a boost. Campbell hands off to Rodriguez, who stumbles in the backfield and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. A broken play there is going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, it looked like Jaden in that play there. It looked like he was looking downfield before they. I think he was. I don't know.
Seemed to me like Rodriguez just never quite had his balance.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, seeing it in the replay, I agree.
And the senior, all in all, does get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 officially on the way. Brockton, a pair of first downs on their 3rd drive. That's been about it offensively for them in this first half. Going to pitch right side. On the run is Turco looking for the edge.
Nice
lower his
pitch.
shoulder and make his way up to about the 19-yard line. The big defensive lineman waiting for him, that's Joe Pikowski. We've called his name a lot, Steve,
Yes, we
over the
have.
last couple of years. Listed at 6'5", 240 pounds. Can get up and down that line of scrimmage pretty quickly, as he demonstrates there. It's a 4-yard carry, and now a 3rd down and 6 is on the way from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, between he and Caruso on the ends, Nick, they've got some serious height and a lot of capability. And if you think that you're just going to run off tackle on these guys, you better get ready for it. So I am continually impressed with Jaden Campbell, Nick. I'm going to be honest, as a freshman out there playing in this environment, he's showing me he's got some tools.
He's holding his own.
He sure is.
3rd down and 6, trying to move the sticks. The freshman out of the gun, in some trouble, and is going to get sacked back at the 15-yard line. A number of Astros in the area, including Joe Osanya, who came in out of the secondary, the sophomore on the scene. And Pinkerton has timed the blitz pretty well in this first half. That one dialed up at the right time to force now a 4th and 10.
Really like that defensive call, Nick. That was very well done, especially when you got great field position. You want to get in the quarterback's head. There was just no place for him to go. To his credit, he didn't throw it. There was no way he could. And
Montero, with a faulty snap, picks it up in the end zone. In some trouble, going to throw it towards the sideline, and it's incomplete. So the
that's a real costly error.
Are going to get a gift here. They're going to set up shop in the red zone at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. A bad snap.
Coach O'Reilly
Coach O'Reilly is upset. I don't see a flag on the field.
Yeah, they just did now.
And now we do see one.
Yeah.
So this may be intentional grounding, as the punter was outside the tackle box when he threw the pass. So that may tack on some more yardage here for Pinkerton.
Yeah, total desperation here, Nick. What else is he going to do? He's getting run down as within the end zone as he's running to the sideline. Just said, hey, anything's better than a safety, right?
Looks like Coach O'Reilly was advocating for that call over 40 years on the sideline. He knew what he saw there. And again, our official referee, Michael Barbarian, has
they're
been
picking it up.
Very busy. Now they are going to pick it up. Coach O'Reilly continuing to protest. Well, that would have been the 4th penalty.
I didn't see a receiver.
Brockton.
While they're talking, maybe we could take a look at this again. They're doing the explanation.
Well, either way, Pinkerton is going to
have a first down.
Good field position here.
Here we go. Let's see if there's anybody downfield, Nick. I didn't see. Yeah, that's a tough snap. Probably should have been. I'm not sure that shouldn't have been caught. Okay, let's see if anybody's down there. There is a receiver, Nick, within number 20, number 2 or number 22. I couldn't tell.
Well, that's what the officials were thinking. All right, here comes Pinkerton.
I don't know.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Handoff Michoud, going to cut up and get tackled in the hole. That's a good open field wrap there for Ty Baker, the inside linebacker, the junior. Showing you how it's done there. A 2-yard gain sets up 2nd and 8.
You said it, Nick. That is what an inside backer does. They love coming up square and meeting you behind the line. Watch this. This is just great tracking work. That's just good work right there.
So the ball at the 14-yard line. We're midway through the 2nd quarter. Astros threatening to take a 3-score lead here. They go to Morrison on an end around, gets a block from Catnode, but the edge is shut down.
Boxer's defense coming up big in 2 plays, Nick.
Ruben Bernard, one of the co-captains, finished him off. His 2nd tackle of this first half. It's a loss of 1. And now a 3rd down and 9 coming up.
Just thinking ahead, what do you do if you're Coach O'Reilly, Nick, and you get no gain here? Do you think it's within field? He's got quite a leg. Or do you just go for it in 4th down?
Well,
That's
we'll see.
You like about a 32-yard field goal, right?
You mentioned Harmony. He definitely has the leg. We'll see what happens on 3rd down. Hersom back to the air. He's got a man. A flag flies. Catch is made inside the 5-yard line. That should be a first down if the play stands.
I think there's going to be a holding call.
A good grab in traffic there by Landon McKiernan, the junior tight end. But again, there's a penalty marker down at the 13-yard line. A lot of flags here in this first half.
Okay.
It's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield. as one of the linemen may have drifted a bit.
Number 60, it looked like he was downfield, Nick.
The officials have called this one tight both ways.
Yep.
So that one wipes off what would have been a first-and-goal situation. Wipes out the big hookup. And now Coach O'Reilly wants to gather the troops here for a quick word with the football placed back at the Boxer 20-yard line.
So that does increase the yardage needed for first down, Nick. And every 5 yards, if you do want to kick it, it's just that much longer. So we'll see what they can do here.
First down markers at the 7-yard line.
Got to give the Boxers credit. They've done a good job so far.
So a 3rd down and 13 coming up here with now 5 minutes remaining before the break. Hursom under center. Quick snap, pitch, left side, Michoud. Got some room. Shimmy shake at the 10-yard line. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Pinkerton.
What a valuable player.
A 17-yard touchdown run by the senior Caden Michoud, who's got now the hat trick here in this first half. His 3rd touchdown puts Pinkerton out in front by a score of 20-0.
Yeah, he had his Wheaties this morning, Nick, for sure. This guy is a special player. Started to watch this little shoulder fake inside, and then he cuts it out. And he is a pretty special ball player. Little fake, quick fake inside.
So Harmony,
a terrific run.
On the way here for another extra point try. High snap, but a good hold.
Yep.
And the senior's going to rifle this down the middle. So Pinkerton with a dream start to this football game, 21-0. Caden Michaud, 2 touchdown grabs, and now a touchdown run to the resume as well as his big first half continues.
Flag down.
Got another penalty on the way as the flag is down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I think this is going to be possibly an unsportsmanlike conduct, Nick. Looked like there was a couple of players out there amongst the referees, and then the flag went up. Usually that's what it's going to be. Something was said, or
it would be the second penalty after the whistle against Brockton.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So Caden Michoud, he's done this before, Steve. In the big win against Concord, Michoud had 3 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he did.
You and I know how good this young man is, as we've seen him perform very well over the last couple of seasons as a starter.
He does it at such important times, Nick. When the team needs something to happen, he just has a gear that he just goes into, and he just does there's just something about him that just has a nose for what needs to be done. Wow, that is this is going to be an interesting Nick, am I to understand that unsportsmanlike was against Pinkerton?
Yep.
There was a bunch of players out there.
Against the Astros, you're right.
Okay, yeah, because there was players from both teams out there.
One of the Astro players may have said something he shouldn't have.
Well, I think I saw number 7 protesting to the referee, so maybe instead of him, obviously, it was something which may have been said to him.
Well, the officials have been
right on it.
Quick to throw the flag here in this first half.
Yep. So this is going to give the Boxers a chance, Nick, with 4:54 to get some pretty darn good field position here.
Kick is a short one for Harmony. Fielded up near side by Harmony, trying to make his way back to the middle. Senior, a little stutter step at the 45, still alive at midfield into Astro territory.
A tremendous effort.
Before he's finally buried at about the 44-yard line. Cam Montero, he's held his own in this first half for Brockton.
I talked to a couple of folks from Brockton down in the field, Nick, pregame, and they said Montero is a guy to watch. And sure enough, I going to keep on reminding folks, it's only 6 seniors,
right?
Which means, you need really a solid 22, 25 players on the varsity level players, and Montero
a little more
has shown up.
A little more emphasis, a little more responsibility is placed on those 6 seniors,
without a doubt,
as well. And Montero has led by example in this first half. 1st and 10. One of the better starting field position spots for Brockton in this first half. They've had to work out of their own end a lot. Montero on a stretch. He's going to cross the 40 and step out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. A good pickup of 5 there.
Yeah, Boxers finding some stuff around the edge here. They're starting to get a good job by number 3, Walter Rodriguez. What a terrific job he did on a lead block there, which opened up that off tackle there to give him Montero an opportunity to get some extra yards. This is what they want, the 2nd and 5s and the 2nd and 2s and things of that nature, so Coach Wiggin can open up his playbook a little bit. Clearly his quarterback has an arm, been a little bit sailing the ball a little bit, but he hasn't been that far off a target, and he's got a good, strong arm. Really like the emotional stability of Campbell, Nick, as well. For a freshman coming to the game, he seems very mission-oriented and
got a bright future for sure.
I think he's got a bright future. I really like the way he plays the game. He's got speed. He can run around a corner. And he hasn't done anything that shows that immaturity. He seems to be very mature for his age. Knows his job.
All right, meanwhile, there was a clock issue. They're going to add some time to the second quarter clock. Mm-hmm. And we now have 4:34 up on the scoreboard. So a 2nd and 5 on the way. Brockton hoping to get some points before halftime, trailing 21-0. Campbell puts Montero in motion, takes the gun snap. Handoff is for Rodriguez, who looked like he was tripped up in the hole and is going to end up short of the first down marker.
Yeah.
Pakowski may have gotten a piece of him.
I think he did. I'm not sure if he tripped over his leg, Nick, or his arm. I couldn't tell from here. We'll probably see it here. But if he was able to maintain speed, Nick, he had some running room there to go.
Going to leave Brockton about a yard shy of the marker, so a 3rd and 1.
It looked like it was his leg. We'll see.
On the way with the football at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, he tripped up of his leg.
Inside of 4 minutes. Astros going to stack the box. Campbell under center for just the 2nd time in this first half. Takes the direct snap, calls his own number, and the freshman is going to pick up a first down.
Looks like a fumble.
But the ball may have come loose. The Astros say they have it.
And
the officials agree. It's the game's first takeaway. As Pinkerton comes up with the loose football, they're going to take over at their own 29-yard line. Well, Montero may have lost it on his way to the ground there as we take another look.
Yeah,
the ball is
on
out.
The ground.
And Johnny on the spot for Pinkerton is the linebacker Ryan Placey.
Was that Montero or Campbell?
I'm sorry, Campbell.
Yeah.
Placey with the recovery, and now Hersom in the offense, back to work for Pinkerton. Morrison undetected on a run right side, a first down and then some. Going to pump the brakes at midfield and step out of bounds at the Brockton 48-yard line after a gain of 23 yards. But guess what? There's another penalty flag. This one on the opposite side of the field at the Pinkerton 49-yard line. Well, both head coaches are really giving it to these officials.
Now, Morrison's only a junior, Nick, and he's hit a growth spurt. When you look at him, Nick, versus last year, what is going on here?
They're going to pick up the flag.
Unbelievable. All right,
but to your point about Morrison, he's
bulking out and he's growing. His frame is hitting a growth spurt, Nick, and he's only a junior.
Saw a lot of time last year as a sophomore. He's a multi-sport athlete, one of their better lacrosse players in the springtime. Hersom calls his own number, and the big 6'4 quarterback is going to lower his shoulder and pick up some good yardage here. Not enough for a first down, but close, as they'll spot him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. That leaves Pinkerton about 2 yards shy of the marker, a gain of 8 there on Hersom's first carry of the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it says here that they're out of timeouts. I don't recall them using 3 timeouts. So I don't know how many together. I think they have 2 left, if I'm not mistaken. And so there's plenty of time and plenty of opportunities for Coach to stop. Well, here we go again.
Cat note up the middle. Looking like a street fight down inside the 35-yard line, a first down and more. Cat note's been busy. That's his 6th carry of this first half.
Yeah, Boxers, Nick, moving the ball down the field, move the sticks a couple times, and have that unfortunate fumble, and this is just giving it right back to the Astros, Nick, with perfect time to close out the half with a potential other score.
Well, Brockton with one turnover, but they also, of course, had that bad snap on the punt.
Two huge errors that have really.
Michaud turns the corner, is cut down at the second level.
And there he is again, number
After
7.
A 7-yard pickup, cut down by number 7, Ahmad Wiggins, the junior co-captain. But again, another chunk play there for Pinkerton.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle there by Ahmad. Good recovery speed here. You're going after Michaud, not an easy guy to tackle. Look at that job coming across the field. Terrific job, saving a touchdown, without a doubt.
Timed that leap pretty well to cut down Michaud below the knees. Meanwhile, clock continuing to tick. Down to 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, and a live performance from the Astro Band as well. That's all on the way at halftime. Meanwhile, Morrison kind of slow-rolled that one to the near side on a lateral run.
That's not like him. That's not a typical run by Morrison, Nick. Usually he will stretch the field, and as soon as he sees a seam, he'll cut up field like a rocket. In that situation, some of our finest having a cup of coffee, monitoring the game.
Yeah, a couple of guys here, part of the big crowd. A couple of thousand estimated here on hand. All right, on 3rd down and 1, Michaud with plenty of room. Well, he's been fun to watch in this first half. Ends up inside the 10-yard line after a gain of 15. 1st and goal on the way for Pinkerton.
Big first down right now. Coach O'Reilly can kind of, with 1:05, still has, I believe, 2 timeouts. That's plenty of time for what he's trying to accomplish here. You may see him running up the middle, Nick, and slow the clock down, not give the Boxers any opportunity to get the ball back with any time in the clock.
1st and goal from the 7, inside of a minute. And now a whistle will blow this dead.
Yeah. Timeout, Brockton. Coach Wiggins probably saw something with the defensive quarter, saw something he didn't like, and didn't get the defense out there he wanted, or the offensive set was concerning him.
Well, if you're just joining us, Pinkerton scored first, obviously. With inside of 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, a 44-yard hookup through the air from Tim Hersom to Caden Michaud made it 7-0. That was our score after 1. And then the same combination, Hersom to Michaud, this time from 48 yards out. The first 3 minutes of the second quarter, Pinkerton doubles up the lead 14-0. And then a few minutes ago, Michaud on a run this time on a 3rd and long, scores from 20 yards out to complete the hat trick and give his team a comfortable 21-0 lead. And now the Astros threatening to tack on another with just 47 seconds remaining in this first half.
Yeah, I just heard a gentleman over doing the Brockton radio does a fine job. He was just saying, I think it's 5 times that Pinkerton's won in the last 16 meetings or something like that. I may have got that wrong, but that's what I think I heard.
Yeah, Brockton has had the upper hand.
Without a doubt.
But many considered Pinkerton as the favorite this afternoon.
This afternoon, yeah. I mean,
based on the experience,
absolutely.
etc.
Yeah, I mean, this Brockton team is taken over by Coach Wiggins with a full understanding. It's a rebuilding year, getting the right guys in the right positions, building your underclassmen size.
And this is one of the
better,
better,
as he said, get buy-in.
This is one of the better Pinkerton teams we've seen.
Without a doubt.
In a while as well. 1st and goal from the 7. Hersom going to avoid one man, looks to stiff arm another, but is going to be dragged down by the jersey. A couple of yards in the backfield here along the near side. Tackled inbounds at the 9-yard line. And now Coach O'Reilly
Hersom's
is going to call a timeout. Lorenzo Santos with a good tackle. Hersom is going to walk off whatever discomfort he's in and have a word one-on-one with Coach O'Reilly.
Well, anytime you got somebody with your shirt in the back and you're going one way and they're pulling you another part of your body the other way, that's always a ripe situation for injury, Nick. So I think he got a little shake up, but he seems like he's okay. But that's a big play by Brockton if they can hold them off here. Again, this is, obviously you're out to win the game, but it's about improving, getting your guys experience, and that's what Coach Wiggins trying to do. I listened to a speech that he gave and he spends a lot of time talking about how important buy-in to the program is. You're not going to be able to move a team forward if they're not buying in themselves. And what he's trying to do here is, I just think it's a gutsy move. If the freshman in this rebuilding type process is the best guy to go with, hey, get him the experience. I mean, look at what Bedford's been able to do, Nick, with quarterbacks. They start as sophomores and bring them up through. Zach Matthews did it, and so did the prior coach as well. And and Jimmy, look at what Jimmy's doing last night. I mean, I think there were 4 quarterbacks in the game. So
Londonderry, a 35-0 winner over Exeter. You can watch that game on our YouTube channel, FNL
they
NH
looked
Media.
strong last night.
Second out goal from the 10.
Yeah,
Michaud looking for the corner. Touchdown, Pinkerton. Caden Michaud having a first half to remember. His second touchdown on the ground, his 4th in this first half, is going to give the Astros now a 27-0 lead.
Take nothing against Michaud. This guy is having himself a day. But he's getting some help with some good blocking on the edge. Watch the blocking here. 49 takes the end out of the edge out of the play, and he's able. You give the ball to a guy like Michaud with a good block like that, and it's all over.
Michaud from 10 yards out. He scored from 20 earlier in the second quarter, and he scored twice through the air as well with catches of 48 and 44 yards. This extra point is good, as Peyton Harmony remains perfect, 4 for 4 now. And this one starting to get ugly with 30 seconds even remaining in this second quarter. It's a 4-score lead now for the home team, 28-0.
21-14 is kind of what I expected, Nick, at the half. I figured they was good, but I mean, this is really surprising me, Nick, to the margin. And when you saw the game start, it looked like both offenses were sparring, but that's once Michaud got on fire. And those 2 seam passes, Nick, were just beautiful work by the quarterback and by the offensive line, giving a nice pocket for Hurston to throw out of. And just, that's 14 between those 2. And they've had some opportunities. Brockton made a few mistakes, one with a punt there, and they gave him a short field. But Pinkerton's offense rolling. They are clearly a top 4 contender for sure. In the top 4 teams in D1.
Well, when you look at the standings, Bedford, they won last night. They're 7-0.
Yep.
Pinkerton hoping to improve this afternoon to 7-0 overall. Portsmouth still undefeated. And then you got Londonderry and Salem right in that mix as well with just a lone loss. The Lancers, as we mentioned, lost to the Astros, and Salem
only lost out of state
against Wachusett down in Massachusetts. All right, still 30 seconds remaining. Another kick, this time it's short from Harmony. It's going to bounce dead in the middle of the field. And a good play there by Rodriguez, going to roll and capture that one at about the 35-yard line. So the Boxers will come out here at their own 34 officially, a first and 10 on the way.
Part of a head coach's job is to manage special team situations, Nick. And you got 30 seconds on the clock. And the last thing that you want to do is give a run back to a player like Montero and the guys, the best guys they got on the team. They're running those kickoff returns. So that's just a smart move by Coach O'Reilly and crew. Throw a little dub kick down there. Make sure they have to fall on it. And then if they're going to score, they're going to have to do it with your set defense out there. That's smart coaching right there.
One timeout in the back pocket for Coach Wiggins. See if he wants to put the pedal to the metal here. Do they want points before the break, or are they content? Well, the snap is going to send the freshman quarterback scrambling. Going to slide on top of that loose ball at about the 16-yard line. Another major loss there.
Brockton's going to let it run right now. Get in there at halftime. 28-zip, Nick. I didn't expect that margin, but this Michaud show here has just been something to watch.
That's what it's been.
Yep.
All right. So both teams content through 2 quarters. Pinkerton, they love what they've seen. 28-0. Caden Michaud, 4 touchdowns. Tim Hersom, a couple of touchdown tosses. The defense with a takeaway, and the special teams forced a key mistake as well to set up a short field. So at halftime, the Astros in the driver's seat with a comfortable 28-point lead on the scoreboard.
Well, you know, it's really with the Boxers, Nick, it's about coming out and executing better and stop doing things that are putting them in a difficult position in the special teams play, and fumbles and turnovers and things of that nature are so difficult to overcome. They had to come here and they needed a few breaks along the way. They haven't got any breaks, and the Astros have been done a lot of things on their own, and they've been handed a couple of pretty good situations as well. But 28-0 at the half, still a great rivalry here. It will be. It's just going to build and build and build year after year. Let's see what Brockton can come out and do the second half.
All right, coming up, we'll take a look back at that first half, stats, highlights, and analysis. And, of course, some live on-field entertainment as well as the Pinkerton Astro Marching Band makes their way onto the field. All that and then some on the other side. Halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton 28, Brockton nothing. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton with a commanding 28-0 lead over Brockton. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. In that first half, it was the Caden Michaud show as the senior scored 4 touchdowns. 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. Coach O'Reilly's Astros look like, at least at the moment, that they're on their way to a 7th straight year to open up the season.
Yeah, Michaud had an injury.
7th straight win to open up the year.
They missed Michaud last year when he got injured there for a while, and it took him a long time to get back to health. And He right now he's in pure end of season form or mid season form, as they say. One of the things about him, Nick, is he follows blocks. John, our cameraman, we were just talking about it earlier. He has this way of kind of lulling you in three quarters if he's going to turn up field inside the hashes. He waits for you to make a move. He waits for the block to develop, and then he just guns it outside. And you're so hard to catch him. And then to have the qualities of being a receiver to that degree with those two seam passes. Whew.
One of those rare players with a second gear.
The second gear.
As we've seen on display this afternoon. It all got started with inside of 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. A 44-yard hookup through the air from quarterback Tim Hersom to Caden Michaud, both seniors. On the first play of the third drive for the Astros.
Right. There's one.
Look at that one.
Look at this. Oh, that's a great job, Ben.
Spectacular one-handed grab by Michaud.
Look
that
at
made
that.
It 7-0. That was our score after one. And then the same hookup on the first drive of the second quarter. Less than 3 minutes in, Hersom to Michaud.
That's the backside of the first right there, John. Yeah, you got them both ends there.
And then the second one was from even deeper, from 48 yards out, in which Michaud broke open, was wide open over the top, and that made it 14-0. In the final 5 minutes, Michaud showed what he could do on the ground. A 20-yard run made it 21-0.
Here's the second one.
Here's the second hookup through the air.
How about Hersom? He threw a strike right there.
Able to catch up to it in stride for score number 2. And then a couple of touchdowns in the final 5 minutes. Michaud from 20 yards out on the ground, as I mentioned, made it 21-0. And then in the final minute, a 10-yard scamper.
Is that all that was?
28-0. So that is where we are. Michaud unofficially 54 yards on only 6 carries. And the 2 catches through the air puts him at 92 yards. So all-purpose, if my West High math is correct, that is 146 all-purpose yards for Michaud in that first half to go along with the 4 touchdowns.
Well, while you were away, I was talking to our friend from WMUR. He had come up just to say hi, and he immediately brought up Michaud. And I had estimated that I'll bet you he had, if not 100 yards, close to it. So look at the offensive production out of those 2 passes. And under 100, and we're talking just the first half. I mean, that's something that people look forward to doing in 2 games.
Yeah.
So very productive. Coach O'Reilly, very, very. He's got to be in a very good place right now with his team as it approaches football. The end of the season.
Coach Wiggins hoping his team can maybe cut down on some of the mistakes from the first half. A number of penalties, really both ways.
Yeah.
But some of those really costly for Brockton, including a bad snap on a punt attempt deep out of their own end.
Yeah, this is a tale of 2 teams here in very different places in the organizational structure of where they are in the scheme of things. Coach Wiggins is attempting to, with 6 seniors and a freshman quarterback, and a lot of training of a new program coming in. He talks about buy-in. We've talked about that multiple times, but he's got to have that buy-in, and it's going to take a little time to get the program going. But I'll make a prediction to you that this young man Campbell is going to be a very good quarterback in maybe even next year, but certainly the year after. This kid's got a lot of skills and a lot of raw talent. And if Coach Wiggins can continue to develop his offense and defensive lines, get these skill players in position as they come up through the JV system, they're not going to stay at this level. They'll continue to get better. So,
one other score of note to keep an eye on, Steve.
Oh, you got scores.
In Division 1, Portsmouth also hoping to stay unbeaten this afternoon, taking on a stubborn Wyndham team.
Yeah, they are.
The Clippers have a 14-0 lead over the Jaguars at halftime.
Wow. So, but Portsmouth is leading. That's in Wyndham, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Portsmouth still, though. Let's not underestimate. Look, remember the Salem-Wyndham game. That Wyndham team is a stinker. If you think you're going to walk in and mow over them, they are tough. Tiger On is a stud. They have a lot of supporting actors in that team that are just terrific. Portsmouth gets through those. I don't know who they have left after that. They got 2 more games after that, but Portsmouth, to me, Nick, that defense looks extremely strong.
Portsmouth will host Merrimack next week, and then they're on the road at Timberlane.
Yeah.
to close out the season. Speaking of Timberlane,
Yep.
there they are. A few guys down on the sideline, including Liam Corman.
Yep.
Had a chance to speak with them off air just moments ago at halftime.
Good.
So they're out here scouting as well. We mentioned earlier Steve Abraham, head coach of Salem, who will face Pinkerton next week. He's here. And, of course, some college scouts may or may not be mixed in anonymously.
We're not
in
positive,
this crowd here
but
in Derry.
we may have seen some scouts last night hanging around as well at Tom Sawyer, who was named, what a wonderful ceremony, named him into the, there he is, Coach Burns. Been around in the game of football for a long, long time.
Former head coach at Trinity, now part of that staff at
Memorial,
Salem.
Coached at Memorial, now coaching at Salem. The Salem offense really fits in, and their defensive structure really fits into a Coach Burns type guy. Steve's got a good staff over there.
All right.
Look forward to seeing them again. And
remember, Brockton won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so the Boxers set to receive here. A deep kick off the right foot of Harmony forces Montero to scramble after he drops the punt, or the kick. Does recover and make his way up to the 20 before he's forced out of bounds at about the 21-yard line.
Yep.
So that is where Brockton will take over. They have not had favorable starting field position by and large this afternoon. This drive, well, not quite idealistic.
Yeah, some of that just by the nature of the game, Nick, some of it by their own doing and putting themselves deep into holes. And that's an area where Coach Wiggins is going to work. You know, there's nothing like going through a full game, Nick, in a film room, throwing a bunch of pizza out there or what have you, going over a full game of film and seeing how you get yourself into trouble. He'll be doing that, making them better each week.
1st and 10. Another series for the freshman quarterback, Jaden Campbell. Going to face a three-man front here from Pinkerton. Put Montero in motion, takes the snap, and throws deep. Down the near sideline. That is a great catch on the run. And now Jaden Lopez Ribeiro is going to score. It's a 79-yard touchdown throw and toss from the freshman quarterback, Jaden Campbell, to the junior receiver, Jaden Lopez Ribeiro, who made a great contested grab and then was gone.
Look at the technical ability of him setting and throwing that ball. I mean, the coverage was tight, Nick, and he just threw an absolute strike. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. What I'm surprised about, when I keep reminding myself, this kid's a freshman. He's cool out there. He's got a lot of skills. He's got a lot of maturity early in life. Coach Wiggins is going to have fun with him the next few years.
Drop that one in the bucket. A 79-yard hookup, largest play either way so far. Extra point up and good as well. The kicker, Terry Montero, finishes off the drive with the extra point. So, Brockton, just when you thought this one may or may not have been over, think again as the Boxers look to fight here. They cut into the lead now. It's 28-7.
Nick, that's a first-class throw. That's a senior quarterback-style throw right there. That's well done. Terrific job. I mean, the coverage was so tight. You can't blame the defensive back there. That was just a terrific job. And, you know, if you're going to come out 28-0, that's how you want to start the second half if you're looking to make a run for it.
Just 17 seconds into this third quarter. So that quiets the crowd a bit as the Derry fans, they were buzzing at halftime with the big lead on the board, but you can kind of hear a pin drop now as the visiting Boxers put up a big play and get their first points of the afternoon.
Yep.
So a 79-yard touchdown toss, Campbell to Lopez Ribeiro. And now it's on the Astros for the first time this afternoon to come up with a response. You can hear the Boxer sideline. They're fired up. This is a short kick. Here comes Morrison at the 15, makes his way to the 20, tiptoes to the 25.
Yeah, that gave Boxers, to your point, Nick.
Before he's brought down at the 26.
That gave the Boxers something to fight for here in the second half. So it's an emotional game.
Right now, at least, the momentum is with the visitors. All right, so Tim Hersom slowly makes his way back into the huddle. Hersom, I believe, Steve, only threw 2 passes. The third one was waved off due to a penalty. But the 2 he threw, both touchdown tosses of 44 and 48 yards. Handoff Michaud And look at this.
Look at this.
He's still alive. Going to roll his way up to the 48-yard line after a pickup of 21.
He's causing a lot of havoc, Nick. He's very difficult to bring down, shifty. He has great vision when he's on the field of dispensing of defensive players and finding open green space. He does a terrific job.
Made one man miss, broke a second tackle before he was finally brought down. That's his longest run from scrimmage. And unofficially now it's 75 yards on the ground. Here's Morrison. Going to cut his way up the middle. Turns his back to the defense inside the Boxer 45 before he stopped at the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 9.
Well, that's when Morrison is his best, Nick. Watch how I talk about him all the time. As you know, he stretches a lateral down the line, and then he finds a cut, and he plants his feet, and watch the acceleration. Boom, he sees the outside block. Look at that. Nice job running there.
2nd and 1. Hersom the snap. Double handoff. Morrison's got a lane.
Goodbye.
And look out. Inside the 20. Bounces it out at the 10 before he's ridden down at the 5-yard line.
That is a nasty play right there.
That's a 37-yard pickup.
That is a real difficult play to stop. And let's give the offensive line here a Pinkerton ass. Look at the blocking here, closing it down. Number 79, I believe that was.
Burkowski.
What a terrific job with a kick-out block. He knew it. Burkowski knew it. As soon as see him put his finger up, he knew he hit a great block right there, and they sprung that great running back through the line.
Well, he's talked to the senior's father off air. He's going to throw the javelin, perhaps, next season at the NCAA level.
I think he said that was his
Meanwhile,
daughter.
this is Catnode in the end zone for the touchdown.
Okay, I was wrong.
It's a 4-yard touchdown run for the senior fullback, and Pinkerton very quickly answers the score from a moment ago.
That's a quick answer. That's like calling somebody right back and meaning it. That was an impressive drive. Catno, this guy is a bull. I mean, when you see him run through the line, would you want to be squaring off against him? Yeah. You better do your homework and spend a lot of time in the weight room because you're going to need it trying to take on that guy.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
He is a grown man for sure.
Part of that linebacking core defensively as well. Extra point up and good from Peyton Harmony, who remains perfect this afternoon, now 5 for 5. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, both teams have exchanged touchdowns. But Pinkerton still keeping Brockton at arm's length here, 35-7.
Yeah, Brockton, if they're going to have a chance to come back, Nick really needed to foil that next offensive drive, get the ball back. But, hey, they're on the board. This is about, now they're going to get the ball again. Let's see what they can do. But you got to give Pinkerton credit for answering back like that. Anytime you have a wing tee offense like this, Nick, and there's a lot of other mix-ups. It's not just a wing tee. There's a lot of other stuff going on Coach O'Reilly puts into his offensive sets and blocking schemes that have a lot of angle blocking, a lot of drop-down, wash-down, kick-out stuff. And this offensive line that he's got, as you've said in the beginning of the game, Nick, he's very, very pleased with what he's got out there.
And, of course, he's been on the job pretty much longer than anybody statewide, over 40 years.
Trying to get an interview earlier. He said, no, just – let Coach Wiggins is here. Let him have it. He says,
we may get him on Thursday night.
Yeah, he knows he's got gridiron anyway.
That's the goal. Of course, FNL Gridiron comes your way Thursday night after a 1-week hiatus. We'll be back on the air live at 6 o'clock this Thursday, hopefully with Coach O'Reilly in tow.
Outstanding containment there, Nick, on special teams. This is an area where Coach O'Reilly conceded that last year he had a special teams crew that needed some work. They were young. They were, not a lot of experience. He's happy with his special teams, and we know how important that is when you get down into playoff games because now you're going to play teams in parity. Sometimes it's the special teams that make the difference.
Good return from Jaden Wooten. He's been busy this afternoon, the junior. He's played a key role in special teams for Coach Wiggins.
Yep.
Sets up his squad at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Another 4-receiver set that's been the look more often than not for the Boxers. Campbell, the quarterback, play action, throws over the middle, and he's got Montero, who's immediately
this kid fires the ball.
Tackled by Michaud after a 14-yard gain through the air, a 1st down.
This young man's finding his place here at the Pinkerton Astro field, Nick. He's just doing it. Watch the mechanics here. We're going to get a good view of it here. Watch him set his feet and bang. Got a great awareness of where the receivers are at a very, very young age. Really like this young man.
So Montero, who has been targeted more than any receiver so far this afternoon for the Boxers, pulls in another grab there. And a rare first down here for Brockton. They've been inconsistent moving the football this afternoon, but that one looked good. 1st and 10. Handoff, Rodriguez trying to bounce it, and he'll get sucked in there by Landon McKiernan. A good tackle from behind as the D end in pursuit.
That's not the first time today he's done it either.
He's going to tackle the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage at 2nd and 10.
Watch the backside work right here. Comes right through the line. The speed that Coach O'Reilly's got in some key positions defensively are really helping him take on good backs and chase down quarterbacks from the backside. The backside pursuit with Pinkerton today has been very good.
Again, one of the few teams that really run a base 3-4 in the state of New Hampshire, and that's why they can. Meanwhile, McKiernan, untouched off the edge, forces an early throw, and the result is an incompletion over the head of the intended target, Jaden Lopez Ribeiro.
Yeah,
and now a 3rd and 10 on the way.
If Campbell's missing, he's missing sailing. And that's just a matter of footwork, of getting himself to work on crossbar. He had him wide open right there. He wants to hit that. Didn't miss it by much, but those are the sort of things he wants to work on throughout the season and really extensively off-season with the body mechanics of throwing a football in a pocket. But he has all the goods.
So back-to-back incompletions brings up a 3rd and long. Campbell looking at Coach Wiggins. Empty set here with 5 receivers. Astros look to rush 4. Snap. The freshman looks left, throws left. It's complete. And Turco, a second effort, is going to pick up the first down. Made the catch just in front of the stick, but ends up with a gain of 13 after a pretty good run.
I don't know what Coach
Chains here.
I don't know what Coach Wiggins said at halftime, Nick, but they're playing with a lot more passion. The offense has got some rhythm to it.
They look crisper.
They look crisper. They look more motivated.
Pretty good out route there by Turco. Caruso wrestled him down, but not before the receiver was able to find enough yardage to keep the drive alive. So 1st and 10. And now a stretch for Montero. Plants the foot, cuts it upfield.
Yeah.
And he's down to the Pinkerton 41-yard line after a gain of 5.
Yeah, offensive line's getting a little surge now, Nick, creating some space for the running backs to turn upfield. So things starting to click for them. If you're Pinkerton, you're happy you've got that 28-point lead at this point, because Brockton does seem to have kind of rising up a little bit and playing with a kind of passion that I think he would have hoped they would have started the game with, Nick. But it's good to see progression. If you're gonna do anything, do better in the second half than the first.
2nd down and 5. Nearly 5 minutes gone by, 3rd quarter. Brockton looking for points on back-to-back drives. They go to Turco in the flat, and again he's going to push the pile.
He's got it
for a first down, and now a penalty flag is thrown late.
I think this is going to be something was going over there between those two receivers, Nick. We'll probably see it here.
It was thrown by the side judge.
But it was right over by the receivers, and then clearly I think it's number 6. I couldn't see from Pinkerton. Well, we're not going to see it in this one. But
the officials were busy in that first half. A combined 9 penalties were accepted between the two teams. This one, the first penalty of the 3rd quarter.
I'm pretty sure this will be a personal foul. But they've picked up a flag before.
They have.
Who knows? So we'll see what the man in the white hat says.
That's our referee, Michael Barbarian, talking it over with the entire crew. And still no signal.
That's what you look for. Yeah, personal foul.
Against Brockton.
Against Brockton, I'm surprised. When I saw the Pinkerton play come back, it was almost as if he thought it was on him, but it isn't.
We've seen a lot of penalties after the play has been over.
After the play's over. I think it's battling during the play, Nick, and it's extending after the whistle, and the refs are not going to put up with that.
And this one, a costly one for Brockton.
It is. You're moving the ball down the field. That's the kind of thing on film you really emphasize. What have you done to the rest of your players that are moving the ball down the field like that? play to the whistle, no, not before, and don't end before, don't continue after.
And by my count, unofficially now, 43 penalty yards against the Boxers, including that one of 15. 40 on the other side against Pinkerton. Second down and 15. Ball at midfield. And the officials aren't quite set to resume. Coach Wiggins, meanwhile, is way out onto the field, and he may have just drawn a flag himself. A penalty is thrown. Coach Wiggins is told to head back to the sideline. And that's a case where sometimes the coach can go up to the line and may have just crossed the line there in the mind of the referee.
Well, he was frustrated a few times in the first half, Nick, too. One of those, the late hit penalty over here really got him fired up.
Yep.
I sympathize with him on that one because I didn't see that. I see it the way he saw it. But, he's also trying to let his players know that he's frustrated as well. But they're really moving the football here very effectively. You really want to stay in there and let them I assume it was because he came on the field too far or something. I don't know.
Well, we've got
what's going on here?
Some things to sort through here. The officials are going to find a spot to place the football. They're going to mark the 15 after they already marked 15 on the previous penalty. So back-to-back penalties.
Just takes you right out
is going to back up Brockton to their own 35-yard line. The first down marker is the Pinkerton 36. So if my math is right, 1st and 29 is on the way. The other thing is, Steve,
it kills the warning. You know what I mean? Give a warning to the coach and say, look.
And, of course, these delays kill the momentum of the game.
Kill the whole momentum of the game. It's just, this is 30 yards of penalty against a team that was marching the ball down the football field.
Tough to swallow. So a 1st and 29. Turco in motion. It's a low snap, and the freshman quarterback is going to have to recover from his knees. He's marked down at the 30-yard line, a loss of 5 more.
Well, he's lucky he saved possession on that, Nick, to be honest with you, because that was a pretty athletic move to be able to stop it. Watch, this thing spun out like crazy, and he was able to keep it in front of him and pounce on it. So, you have such an exciting drive. They come out. You want to build progression, momentum, and success as you win, lose, or draw the game. That whatever happens. But you want to finish the game stronger as you lead out of the game. And they had a nice drive going down here and completely changed.
Second down and 34. 5 receivers set, 3-man rush. Campbell to his right, throws off the back foot. He's got Montero, who's wrapped up immediately by the corner, Jamison Isaac. A good tackle there at the 31-yard line. They get the 5 back, but still a 3rd and 29 on the way.
Campbell, Jane didn't see him, but he had Campbell wide, Turco wide open down here on the 50-yard line. But it was pretty difficult to see through all that tall traffic of Pinkerton defense coming in, but threw a nice throw just the same.
Montero's been busy, unofficially 5 catches today, and he's been the most targeted receiver for Coach Wiggins. All right, so 3rd down, and I guess officially 32 as we move past the midway point of this 3rd quarter. Pinkerton still with a comfortable 35-7 lead on the board. Brockton hoping to improve some field position here before the punt. Snap, Campbell against the 4-man rush. Plenty of time. Tiptoes to the left. Has to get rid of it. Throws down the middle, and it's incomplete. Over the head of the intended target, Cam Montero. And the Astros will force the punt as that drive went off the rails with the back-to-back personal fouls.
Yeah, it's all about the penalties, Nick, and you put in a position where you got down and distance situations that are just very difficult to attain. Look at the time, look at the move in the pocket, look at the strength in the arm here. Yeah, I mean, if that was another maybe 6 inches down, there was a pretty good opportunity to catch that. He wanted it. But, like as you said, losing 30 yards here, Nick, from penalties, I don't know.
So 4th and long, Montero going to punt this away, a line drive. Barely got that off. It's going to take a Brockton roll.
It's going to work, though. Really well.
Down inside the 35 before it's finally blown dead at the 33-yard line. So, Pinkerton take the field here with a 4-score lead still on the board. The halftime difference was 28-0. How'd they get there? Well, Caden Michaud had 4 touchdowns in that first half. The first 2 through the air, tossed by his classmate, senior Tim Hersom. Then the final 2 in the final 5 minutes before halftime, both on the ground, scores from 20 yards away and 10 yards out. And then both these teams exchanged touchdowns in the first 2 minutes to begin the second half. Brockton got on the board on a 79-yard touchdown pass from Campbell to Lopez Ribeiro. And then this man, Catnode, scored from 4 yards out. And on his first carry of this drive, he picks up an even 10 yards to move the sticks.
Yeah, but it's the 55, 60 yards. You get Catnode, Nick, to get 45 to 60, 70 yards in a game. But those yards are hard-earned yards that you need at really significant times, and he gets it for you. He punishes. And by getting that yardage, he makes those sweeps and those jet sweeps.
Double handoff, Michaud on 1st and 10 is stopped in the hole.
Picked up well by Brockton.
They read it correctly. Messiah Pena, one of the 6 seniors for Brockton, was there on the stop. A couple other guys at the bottom of the pile as well, including Uriel Mabine.
It's kind of on the short side of the field, but it looked to me like Brockton just did a good job just stuffing the holes. And they were pretty square there, ready for it. So
no gain.
But Catnode, Nick, is it you threw? I mean, it's hard to imagine 3 backs together, the fullback and 2, who's got a better set of backs than these guys do.
Catnode with room this time on 2nd and 10, rumbles downfield to the Brockton 44-yard line. A gain of 13 there. That's his longest run from scrimmage this afternoon.
And he likes it too. He loves to deliver the hit.
Physical player, part of that linebacking core the last couple of seasons for the Astros. And he's been busy on the ground as well. He's got unofficially 47 yards to go with that 4-yard touchdown.
Wiggins, all-star type.
Yep. Catnode again, staying with the hot hand as he moves inside the 40. Rolls his way down to the 38-yard line for 6 more.
Larry Zonka. No, I mean, those are some of my favorite football players. Yeah, bruisers. And
yeah, he's a key part of what Coach O'Reilly is trying to do. And Coach has praised him. He's praised the linebacking core in general.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the skill players, more often than not, get a lot of attention, and rightfully so. But it's those blue-collar types
we at Friday
that more
Night Lights
than often not
try to
done.
cast some light on them as well, because this is a team game right to the end like no other.
Morrison looks for a block at the edge, but good pursuit there is going to stop him dead in his tracks.
Yeah, one of the things.
Ahmad Wiggins, another tackle for Brockton.
Watch him, Morrison. He says, I'm going to slow it up. I'm not going to be flamboyant. We're not behind. We're up 35-7 here. I'm going to protect the football. Watch Morrison here as he runs wide. He comes through, and he's got 2 arms wrapped around that football, so he's not going to do something to give the Boxers an opportunity to score again. So it's just smart situational football at work here.
3rd and 4. As we come up on 2 minutes to go, this play is blown dead.
Yeah, as a
flag is
somebody
thrown,
moved.
And a false start is coming against Pinkerton.
Boy, I'll tell you, these flags are making this game long, I'll tell you. But clearly there was a false start in that situation.
Yeah, we're approaching 2 hours here in real time.
Yeah.
Still 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. A lot of penalties, particularly in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last several minutes as well. That's 5 more against Pinkerton. So a 3rd and 4 becomes a more difficult 3rd and 9.
Without a doubt.
Coach O'Reilly going to talk to the brass here. Or I should say, Tim Hersom is going to talk to the brass. That's Coach O'Reilly. And then jog back into the huddle.
You know who's had a really good game today as well, Nick? We've called out his name a couple times. Caruso. He's done a terrific job today. That first half when the game was didn't have this kind of a spread, he came up big on a number of occasions.
Had 3 tackles.
Had 3 tackles that were key.
Got a timeout on the field. Well, our broadcast As it always is, brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. By MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit nhiphonerepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally, by Spectrum Monthly, powerful local advertising solutions. Find out more at spectrummonthly.com. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Pinkerton looking to improve to 7-0 this afternoon. Built up a 28-0 halftime lead. And are looking to convert here on 3rd and 9 with a 35-7 lead up on the board. Hersom rolls left, throws off the back foot, looking down the sideline, and a leaping grab is going to be made at the 15-yard line by Benjamin Warthers. The 6'1 senior receiver timed the jump perfectly, and Pinkerton gets another big play through the air.
Some of the Boxer players, Nick, are saying he was out of bounds when he came down. I didn't see it that way. We're going to find out here as he comes down. Just bear in mind that Morrison was wide open down the seam. I would say that was inbounds.
You only need one, as we know.
No, it was his back. It was no legs ever touched. He came down on his back inbounds.
Coach O'Reilly, stoic after the big play through the air. He's seen a few plays like that before.
Well, if this ends up like this, he's going to go home and have a nice dinner tonight and enjoy the weekend, because you want to see your players play with this kind of spirit and intensity. That's what he coaches for. And
another trip into the red zone for the Astros. Michaud back to work. Going to dance his way left side and not get much. Maybe a yard as the pursuit catches up with him at about the 14-yard line. Another tackle for Ruben Bernard, one of the 6 seniors up front, who has played well rather up front. One of the 5 co-captains as well with another tackle there. Final minute, 3rd quarter.
That deep seam, Nick, has really that is a well-designed, and they execute it well, play.
And Cat Node, he's tripped up. Got to the 2nd level, but Wiggins got him around the ankle. So the 5-yard line after a 4-yard carry.
Yeah, so they're going to be the 10-yard line, right? Yeah. The 5 is for the first down. They're at the 10.
Ball's at the 10, you're right. So 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, so they can get there. The kicker, Pinkerton, is really good.
It's Peyton Harmony, 5 for 5 on extra points. Cat Node up the middle. He going to leap towards the 5-yard line, and that's going to be close.
They're going to bring him back to right at the 5. Looked to me, Nick, like he was a little further than that, but maybe his knee went down.
No. The officials still have.
No, he's right there, right on.
They're going to say first down.
Yeah, but
and that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Both teams exchanged touchdowns in the first 2 minutes. But after 3 quarters, Pinkerton still with a big lead on the board. The Astros threaten to blow this one wide open when we come back. A 1st and goal on the other side. 4th quarter next. Pinkerton with 35-7 lead over Brockton. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Derry. Pinkerton a big lead up on the board here in week number 7. 35-7 with now 12 minutes to go in regulation. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We welcome you if you're tuning in down in the Brockton area or anywhere throughout New England or throughout the country, throughout the world.
In Florida last night.
That's right. We urge you to subscribe if you have not done so already. We are on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Pinkerton has played with the lead throughout the afternoon. Hersom to Michaud twice accounted for the first 2 scores, 44 and 48 yards through the air. Then Michaud in the final 5 minutes with 2 touchdowns on the ground. It was 28-0 Pinkerton at halftime. Brockton got on the board just 17 seconds into the third quarter as the freshman quarterback, Jaden Campbell, got a big 79-yard pass play to Jaden Lopez Ribeiro to make it 28-7. But Pinkerton got one right back a couple of minutes later. A couple of big runs from Matt Morrison. And then the drive finished off with a 4-yard touchdown run from Ryan Catnode. Speaking of Catnode, he stopped here at the 4-yard line. A flag is thrown in the backfield. But perhaps most importantly, Tim Hersom limping a bit as the senior starting quarterback makes his way to the home sideline, clearly hindered by something there.
Yep.
Going to try and shake it off as he approaches Coach O'Reilly. May have been some friendly fire there. He may have gotten stepped on by a teammate. Or it looked like he banged his knee on the handoff.
He's taken a few shots running the ball, too, Nick. He's run down the field, and he's been met with some pretty good force there. So he's definitely physically taking a toll in this game. So I don't know what they're going to do here. They've got Morrison and Michaud. No, he's going to go in. He's
limping a bit.
He's still limping.
But he's a gamer, 2-year starter. He's looked good today. I believe, again, unofficially, just 3 pass attempts, 3 completions. 92 yards on 2 in that first half, and then a 27-yarder late in that third quarter. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, as we mentioned. Second and goal from the 8-minute in now, fourth quarter. Catnode straight ahead is pushed back again.
Boxers are having their spurts, Nick, during the game where they play at a pretty high level.
The freshman Uriel Mabine starting to pile up some tackles as he led the charge there.
Yeah, but they got some goods there that when they're playing with intensity, they do quite well.
They've stiffened up here in the last few plays. They're going to force now a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. So Pinkerton, with 4 touchdowns on the afternoon from senior running back Caden Michaud, looking for another one here to make it a 35-point game for the first time. They toss to Morrison. The junior looks for the corner, and he gets in for the touchdown.
Turned on the speed.
It's a 6-yard score for the junior Matt Morrison. Shows you what he can do as he finds pay dirt for the first time this afternoon, and Pinkerton now threatening to trigger the running clock with an extra point here. It's 41-7.
Yeah, that was a nice run. Both running backs, Michaud and Morrison, have a great vision of the field, Nick, of where the green space is. And look at that point, it's just a track meet to get to the corner. And they're doing a good job. The Boxers doing a good job shutting down the middle. But, boy, Morrison, he can turn that on, can't he?
So the kick up and good from Peyton Harmony. He's a perfect 6 for 6.
Nick, you get in a game, if they get in a playoff game or another tight game against Salem, next week, and they're in a need for a 37, 36-yard kick. I believe this guy could make that.
Absolutely.
If he's got a good hold.
Absolutely. He's been spot on.
Yes, he has.
All afternoon, now 6 of 6.
But that ball went all the way in the other side of the cones, landed out there with those young kids out there playing football.
Had some
On the
depth.
side. Had some depth to it, and he's got a good leg.
So 42-7. And despite, Steve, the lopsided records coming in when comparing these two teams, despite the differences on paper in terms of experience, I'm not sure anyone saw this coming.
No, I didn't.
A lopsided
I didn't.
blowout here with Pinkerton out in
No.
front, 42-7 with still 10 minutes to go.
Like we've talked about before, you got a team in a developmental stage right now, new coach, new regime coming in, and you've got Pinkerton right now just playing in the best. To me, they're playing the best. Regardless of the opponent, Nick, there's certain things that Pinkerton is doing here that's just extremely solid, and they deserve their ranking every single week. There are some people that feel, many people, understandably so, feel that they are the number one. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're in the top 3 or 4, it's all going to settle itself anyway.
Yeah, we know about Bedford, the defending champs. They're still unbeaten through 7 weeks. Portsmouth, they're looking to wrap
Nice
up
run back.
things today against Wyndham. They were out in front 14-0. If the Clippers can win, then they would improve
By the way, are you sneaking in some scores there?
to
or what?
7-0. And Pinkerton, of course, just now minutes away from getting their 7th. Well, not a busy Saturday. We saw a lot of scores last night, and we'll try to get you the latest on the Portsmouth and Wyndham game. But to your point, with kind of this first tier in Division I, Londonderry right there, as they always
4
are
teams.
under Coach Lozon. They're now 6-1 after a 35-0 impressive victory last night against Exeter. We were there at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. You can watch that game on our YouTube channel. And then the dark horse, kind of the 5th team, is Salem.
No doubt.
And we're going to find out more about the Blue Devils over the next 2 weeks when they challenge themselves against Pinkerton and then against Londonderry to close out the campaign.
They have the opportunity to catapult themselves way up if they're able to come out with a win against Pinkerton next week. It's going to be a tall order. Steve's doing his job.
Campbell out of the gun, incomplete.
How did he find that?
Another tough snap to handle.
Yeah.
Recovered in time, but overthrows the man he was hoping to connect with, Ramel Johnson, as it sails over the junior's head. Now a 2nd and 10 on the way.
Well, we were talking about the top echelon. You got Portsmouth. Let's not leave them out of the picture as well. They're clearly a top 4 team. And I still think that Dover don't throw Dover. Not that you are. I'm just saying that nobody can take Dover out of the picture completely as well. They've got it. When you've got a great quarterback like that, then there's a lot of good things. They've had a tough schedule. When you play in the East, and you're Dover, you play Exeter and which they'll play next week or the week after. Right?
Dover is now 4-2-1 with 2 road matchups remaining at Concord and at Exeter.
But who are their losses to?
This one is incomplete. The 2 losses at Portsmouth week 3.
Yeah, there you go.
And Dover lost to Bedford.
Well, there you go.
In week 6.
So
they won last night over Timberlane 42-28.
So, I mean, those 2 losses are against the top, arguably the top 2 or 3 or 4 teams for certain, and everybody else they've defeated. So they do have a game against Exeter. It's either next week or the closeout of the season.
Yeah. And we'll break all this down, by the way, Thursday night on FNL Gridiron. Tune in. We're live at 6 o'clock, only on our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. We get exclusive interviews with not only head coaches but also media members to help make sense of the standings as we approach the playoffs. That, again, is Thursday at 6 o'clock, only on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. 3rd down and 10, a jump ball, and Montero comes down with it. 1st down and then some. He's loose down the sidelines. He's inside the 20. He's still alive at the 15, where he's finally driven down inbounds at about the 17-yard line. Another big chunk play through the air on 3rd and 10 for Brockton.
Give this young man a good receiver that knows how to run routes, and this kid's going to get to him. He's this, folks, if you're just joining, this kid's a freshman and playing at a high level at varsity here as far as ability to throw the ball down the field. And Montero grabbed everything he could get out of that. So they have another chance.
Into the red zone. I believe, Steve, for the first time this afternoon. Remember, their lone score came on a 79-yard hookup. They're in the red zone here just outside the 14-yard line. To the air again. Catch made by Rodriguez along the sideline. And he spun down after an 8, maybe a 9-yard pickup by Camden Marasco.
Watch the head work right by Campbell right now. Watch. Look at him. He's all focused. He's lasered in. Watch. He's looking over left, and then he pulls over right. Yeah, that's a quarterback. He's got all the physical skills, but he's got the mental skills as well. Really like this kid a lot.
We hit the midway point, fourth quarter. Running clock here with Pinkerton out in front 42-7, but Brockton knocking on the door for a second score. The football is at the 12-yard line. It's a second down and 4. And Coach Wiggins going to call for a timeout. Something not quite right in the first year head coach's mind. He's going to talk about it here as they expend their first timeout.
I think he called that for one of the offensive crew because he was pleading with Coach Wiggins to give him a timeout. He immediately did that. I think this is organization of maybe setting up a couple plays ahead of time. So that if there's an opportunity where they get in close, they can do a quick sneak or something. But he's probably telling them, guys, no penalties. Keep your composure. Stay focused. We need this touchdown. I like the time of the timeout. This is it. This is now. This is the time they want to score again.
Well, Pinkerton.
Offensive line, sorry, Nick, done a good job for Campbell tonight. I really think when they've dropped him back to pass most of the time, he's had room to throw, and he's made the best of it.
I agree. A couple of times Pinkerton got some clean shots off the edge on a blitz call, but outside of that, he's had time. Yep. He's under center here, which is a rarity. He's going to roll out right. He's going to throw towards the goal line, and that one incomplete. Could not hook up with the intended target, tight end Jordan Maza DePina.
Yeah, he just
junior.
He released the ball a little quick. The player developed, but that was a catchable ball. Yeah, that ball in both hands was definitely a catchable ball. So that looked a little different when it got slowed down there. You could see it.
So now a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, very well. Actually, quite well thrown.
Clock ticking down towards 5 minutes. Again under center. It's a handoff to Rodriguez. A dive play.
He's close.
I think he's got it. He's inside the 5 looking for the 4, and yes, it's a first down. So a 1st and goal coming up for the first time this afternoon as Brockton looks to save a little bit of face here in the final minutes.
Nice quick dive play there. Good surge by the right guard there coming off the line. They're getting some good production. It's the only thing that's erratic, but if they can put it together, here we go.
Rodriguez, another quick hitter.
I think he's in.
No
Pretty
signal
sure he's
yet,
in,
but yeah, he looks like he's in.
Looked to me like he was in.
The officials are going to sort through the bodies and now say touchdown. It's a 3-yard touchdown run for Walter Rodriguez. The senior has been going hard today, and the co-captain gets a score as a reward here late in the fourth quarter.
This right guard, 74, he's doing a nice job. Excuse me. Nice work. Got to give him just a slight piece of light there to work through. A nice little.
It's the first score of the year for Rodriguez. And now I believe Coach Wiggins wants to go for 2. So a 2-point try.
This is an interesting call here.
With 4:24 to go. 2 receivers set, 2 tight ends, I think, for the first time as well. A big bunch package down near the goal line. Going to throw over the middle. That one poked up into the air, incomplete.
Boy, I saw him. I saw the same thing that Campbell saw Nick there, where he looked wide open, and these Pinkerton defensive backs, Nick, and the linebackers close it right off so quickly. Watch this.
I think that was Aaron Parker, the 6'4" DN that got a piece.
But look at him. He's open, and then all the great. Number 21.
That was actually Marcus Navarro.
Yeah, terrific job.
The 6'2" junior.
Yep, that's field awareness. That he knows that receiver's behind him. He sees him drop back and make a pass. Look, these defensive backs have really come on strong.
David Souther, the corner, was right there as well, but it was Navarro who got the piece.
You're absolutely right. They did the same thing in the Mac Black game. They defended a very potent offense, I thought, quite well from the defensive back standpoint, Nick. And
so
against
40,
Derry.
Sorry, Steve, 42-13 after the 2-point try fails. 4:24 now remaining. So Brockton, an impressive drive there. Remember, their first score was on one big play, a 79-yarder through the air. This one a little more calculated, a little more methodical. Finished off with a 3-yard touchdown run from Walter Rodriguez. Here's the kick. End over end from Andrew Dos Santos. Going to be fielded here by a new return man. That's Brady Normile. Normile, the 5'9 sophomore, is going to cautiously approach the 30 before he's tackled at the 30 by Brockton's Robert Pyers. So, some of the twos, as you like to say, Steve, getting in here. Some of the backups, some of the reserves for the final 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, if you're Exeter or Londonderry in the game that we did on our station, if you want to see it, last night, Londonderry versus Exeter, you could see the same sort of situation happen where pretty early in the game, as far as the fourth quarter, these guys got in. And boy, I was impressed with some of the replacement players. The quarterback from Exeter, although he's not very tall, he looked very agile and seems to have a lot of promise for Coach Ball next year.
That was Michael Carron.
Yeah, and a lot of those Londonderry players as well look terrific.
Got another quarterback here, Aiden McDonald. Takes his first snap of the afternoon. The sophomore hands off to Joseph Osanya. And the sophomore Osanya is spun down in the backfield for a loss. They lose 2, second down and 12 on the way. As we move inside of 3 minutes to go in this one. Coming up after the game, full recap, stats, highlights. Out-of-town scoreboard. We'll check in with Portsmouth and Wyndham. And pretty much put the ribbon on this one, as it's been all Pinkerton all afternoon. The Astros out in front looking to milk the final 2.5 here out in front, 42-13.
Well,
right side run, Osanya on 2nd and 12, crosses the 30. But is tackled around the shoulder blades at about the 31-yard line. Again, Wiggins in there defensively, along with Lorenzo Santos, who's played a good game on the edge. Santos, another tackle, as you can see right there.
Yeah, it's just very difficult to take on a team like Pinkerton. You know, a city, you know, as far as the numbers, the population in the school or the enrollment, they got some numbers to draw from, and they're playing Brockton here against 6 seniors. That's a difficult thing for the Boxers to overcome, because the senior leadership on this team of Pinkerton, Nick, is just solid. And
as we know, Steve, you said it, not just with Jaden Campbell, but a lot of these young players really getting their feet wet, so to speak, in real time. Baptism by fire, cutting your teeth, whatever cliche you want to use. But some of these losses may be painful at the time, but you come out the other side a lot better, and they could be very formidable in short order next season.
Well, I talked to Coach Hammond, who's obviously, they load and then they go through a couple of developmental years, then they come out strong again. And he was saying, look, on a team, Goffstown, I'm talking about, he was telling me that, these guys get in, they start playing varsity ball as freshmen and sophomores. You've got to put them in there. By the time they're juniors and seniors, they are battle ready.
Right.
And he's been able to put together some really, really good teams and good programs. Goffstown football is serious business. Boy, I was watching a little of the Goffstown football game, Nick, on YouTube, and I got to be honest with you, that field complex, I can't wait to go there. Yeah. It is beautiful. What a wonderful job they've done there.
Yeah, new turf field over there in Goffstown. They've got lights for the first time as well, so that means Friday nights are now on the table. Yep. A revamped press box, so some good stuff going on there.
And they're a young team.
Athletic Director Justin Huft, of course.
Yep.
The former head coach of the football team.
Championship 2015.
Yep. All right, Steve, we're down to just 35 seconds. 4th down and 2, and Coach O'Reilly's going to punt the football. I believe for the first time. No, the second time. The first time since the first quarter. This is Mohamed Musa, 5'7 junior. Playing it off the bounce is the return man, Robert Moyes II. And Moyes II, who's just a sophomore, is clocked at about the 36-yard line. And that, Steve, is going to do it.
Yep.
An impressive victory by the Pinkerton Astros, 42 to 13 as they improve to 7-0 on the season. A statement win. Won't count towards the NHIAA standings, but it does improve them overall, as I mentioned,
no
to
question.
7-0. Kind of a measuring stick game, a rivalry renewed, and Coach O'Reilly is going to sleep well tonight as his team performed at a high level.
Got a good
for
back there.
Really the entirety of this one. Again, the final is 42-13.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Brockton, again, build. Get reps. That's what it's all about here for them. Pinkerton is thoroughly and totally and completely in the hunt. And say bye to my buddy there. They're right in the hunt, Nick. They're I don't want to say peaking. I don't like that name in football, but they are progressing with each week, and there's more and more players that are checking in at high level at key times in games. You could look through so many players. This was on paper the Michaud show, but hardly there's a whole team there of outstanding supporting actors and coaching staff. That this team's together. I wouldn't want to be playing them. I think Steve Abraham is looking forward to it, to be honest with you. I think he wants his team to play these guys. I do, because that's just the way. Salem is undefeated as well. It's kind of like, let's go. Let's get it on. Let's get the game on. Let's do it. It's going to be one heck of a football game when those two clash next week. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, when we come back, full recap, stats, highlights, and a look in at the Portsmouth-Wyndham game as well as the Clippers look to stay undefeated. 42-13.
Jeez, you're killing me here.
Is the final score. The Astros a winner. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
42-13, the final. Pinkerton, a wire-to-wire win to improve to 7-0. Nick and Estes, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Quite a performance, really on both sides of the ball, as Pinkerton looked to control things early. Closing minutes of the first quarter, they got on the board with a 44-yard touchdown pass from Tim Hersom to Caden Michaud, the two seniors, combining for, well, the first of two scores in that first half. The second came a few minutes later, early in the second quarter. Hersom to Michaud again, this time from 48 yards out. Made it 14-0. Final 5 minutes, 2 rushing touchdowns for Caden Michaud. One from 20 yards out and another from 10 in the final minute to make it a 28-0 halftime affair. Pinkerton with a takeaway defensively in that first half. And, well, a bad snap haunted Brockton along with some penalties. But the bad snap set up a short field that led to that final touchdown of the first half. Third quarter, though, Brockton showed the willingness to fight. The freshman quarterback, Jaden Campbell, hooked up with Jaden Lopez Ribeiro on a 79-yard touchdown down the sideline that was fun to watch. 28-7 at that point. But the thrill was short-lived as Pinkerton responded just over a minute later with an impressive drive capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by the fullback Ryan Catnode, who was busy this afternoon. 35-7 at that point. 35-7 our score after 3 quarters. And then Pinkerton, 2 minutes into the fourth, would trigger the running clock as Matt Morrison scored from 6 yards out to make it 42-7. Brockton in the final 5 minutes strung together what may have been their most impressive and complete drive of the afternoon, which was capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run from Walter Rodriguez. 2-point try failed. But in the end, this veteran Astros team gets the latest chapter of this rivalry to go in their favor by a final score of 42-13.
Yeah, so we go to Brockton first. A lot of developmental potential here. Program, if he gets buy-in from the younger fellows that are coming up in, they'll get their friends to come out. They'll have the numbers back that he's looking for. And but they clearly show that when things are in sync, Nick, they even this year with just a minimal 6 seniors can get it done as far as putting a sustained drive. Biggest problem is they shot themselves in the foot a lot of times as far as the penalties at just critical times just really stopped and hindered drives. And I think they had a couple of calls on them that were pretty tough at pretty tough times too. But Coach Wiggins will bring this team along with his staff, and I would expect Brockton with a quarterback like this young Campbell fella you got a good quarterback, and it just brings energy and excitement into a team. He'll get them moving along. Pinkerton, if you're in Division I New Hampshire, Pinkerton's going to be a tough one because to play because they have versatility, Nick. The versatility comes from a Catnode. It comes from Hersom. It comes from Michaud. It comes from Morrison. And then when you got great offense and defensive lines, look at what he can do there. So we could sit here for half an hour and talk about all the assets that Pinkerton has. They are clearly at the top echelon of this league, and they're going to be it's going to be a heck of a game. Salem's going to have to be at their absolute best, and they're going to have to catch Pinkerton off guard if they're going to win that. But it's going to be a good game to watch.
Steve, you asked about Portsmouth?
I did.
Right now, it looks like they're going to get it done. 34-14 with 2 minutes to go.
Against Wyndham, that's a pretty strong showing.
In the fourth quarter. So the Clippers, 2 minutes away from improving to 7-0. They would join Pinkerton and Bedford as the only 3 unbeaten teams left in Division 1.
Well, you got Salem division; they're undefeated as well.
Overall,
you mean overall? Absolutely right.
Salem 6-0 against in-state competition, 6-1 overall. The lone loss against Wachusett, and of course, we should mention Londonderry as well. They're right in that mix at 6-1. All right. Reminder: Thursday night we're back after a 2-week absence. FNL Gridiron presented by Beals Insurance live at 6 o'clock. We'll recap this one here. We'll recap everything that we saw last night in week number 7, but more importantly, we'll set the table for week number 8 as well with exclusive interviews from coaches and media members. Again, that's FNL Gridiron every Thursday, but back this Thursday specifically at 6 o'clock Eastern. And the only place you can watch it, of course, is on our YouTube channel, FNL-NH Media.
Don't forget Brockton TV. Don't forget that.
And Brockton TV. Well, I was about to get to the thank yous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's start with Coach O'Reilly. Appreciate,
yes,
as usual, Coach giving the very quick response to the text message, and it's always a one-word answer, and it's the one we like to see, which is yes. So thank you, Coach, as usual, and the staff here on the ground on game day is doing a great job. I want to thank our friends in the media, of course, as you mentioned. My new friend Mike down there at Brockton Public Access. Appreciate that. Appreciate the email, and appreciate you carrying the feed down there. And, of course, our crew here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, the return of Kristen Beals upstairs on the overhead camera. Fantastic job, as always.
Yep.
Matt Beals, of course, putting in the extra work, traveling 400 or so miles north for the weekend trip. We appreciate that. And, of course, John Barron, who spearheaded the setup, as always, on point and here early. So we appreciate those three videographers. Of course, the whole thing is put together by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For my partner, executive producer, Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 42, Brockton 13. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.